A streak of crimson light flashed across the courtyard. It struck the child down, sending her sprawling to the ground. Kwan Yu-yun stared at his daughter in disbelief, then spoke in a voice as cold as ice. "Take the child's spirit core and lock her away in the cold palace. If anyone dares breathe a word of what happened today, I will show no mercy." In that moment, Kwan Yu-yun's eyes held nothing but fury and cold. Not a trace of a father's warmth remained. Xiaoya stared at the feather lying beside her. Why wasn't she like her father and brother? Why wasn't her feather red? Hua Yu, her brother, stepped toward her, his eyes brimming with hatred. A moment later, he reached out and tore the spirit core straight from her body. Xiaoya dropped to her knees, begging in desperation, "Brother, let me try again. I know I can do it this time." But Hua Yu only looked down at her coldly. "Who told you I was your brother?" "How despicable. You've been deceiving everyone all along. Don't let me see your face again, or I might not be able to stop myself from cutting off those white wings of yours." That was what awaited her, though she had no way of knowing it the day she was born. Her mother had died the moment she came into the world, leaving behind a child whose very identity was in question. Her father and brother looked at her with cold, distant eyes from the very start. And yet the man still carried her away in secret, cradling her as though she were a treasure. "Father, she's so small, one gentle breath might blow her away." "That's right, so you must be very careful or you'll frighten her off." The western territories of Taihua, a kingdom where beastkin dwelled. The Taihua Kagan Empire ruled here, guarded by 4 divine beast clans who preserved this wondrous land. The 4 divine beasts were the azure dragon of the east, the black tortoise of the north, and the white tiger of the west. They carried the blood of ancient divine beasts, each clan governing its own territory and its own beastkin people. And in the south, the Vermilion Bird clan of divine beasts. Their clan lord Kwan Yu-yun gently carried his beloved daughter forward, step by unhurried step. "Are you ready, Xiaoya?" "Yes, father." He set her down carefully. "Don't be nervous, I know you can do this." Xiaoya had once been the cherished daughter of the Vermilion Bird clan, adored above all others. Today's task was her first transformation, to become a vermilion bird as magnificent and crimson-feathered as her father. This was the very first transformation of her life. Everyone around them froze in shock. Why was it a bird with white feathers? A vermilion bird was born to wear feathers of red. Whispers began to spread. 7 years earlier, the moment Xiaoya was born, her mother had passed away. The only witness at the time had been a single maidservant. Xiaoya had been born with hair as white as snow, while every member of the clan carried hair of fiery red. Could this be the child of an affair, born of the lady's infidelity? Or was the baby swapped the moment she was born? The clan lord insisted without a doubt that his late wife had been a woman as pure as snow. He shot back in fury. "How dare you question her chastity?" But in beastkin society, bloodline was everything, for their strength was passed down through blood. To preserve the purity of the 4 great divine bloodlines, when a couple married, one side's bloodline would be sealed away. Kwan Yu-yun had simply assumed that somewhere in his late wife's ancestry, there must have been someone with white hair. So he'd been certain Xiaoya's snow-white hair posed no issue at all, until the day of her first transformation. But the moment Xiaoya turned into a small white bird, everything changed. From that day on, Xiaoya was locked away in a cold, empty room. She stared at the feather in her hand, her small fingers trembling without end, all because of this white plumage. If this transformation succeeded, perhaps her father and brother would smile at her again. She tried to gather her strength, preparing to transform once more. But a moment later, fresh blood dripped onto the floor. Her brother had stolen her spirit core. To wield the power of a divine beast, one needed a spirit core. To win back her father and brother's love, Xiaoya pushed her small body past its limits, again and again. But day after day, she never succeeded again. Whenever the servants passed her room, they would whisper, "She really must be the child her late ladyship had with another man. If it were me, I'd have thrown her out long ago." Those cold words cut like a blade to the bone. Xiaoya slowly came to understand. Perhaps she had never truly been her father's daughter at all. 2 years slipped by in the blink of an eye. Just as everyone had begun to forget what had happened, a young girl walked into the Vermilion Bird clan, her hair a brilliant shade of red. She handed the clan lord a feather of deep crimson. "My name is Lily. I'm 9 years old. Not long ago, I underwent my first transformation. Someone told me I could find my family here. The clan lord looked at Lily before him with some suspicion. Why didn't you transform right here instead of bringing this feather? What proof do I have to trust you? Lily's eyes were filled with resolve. I can do it, I really can. The very next moment, before everyone's eyes, she swiftly transformed. The sight left the clan lord wide-eyed, utterly astonished. There was no doubt now she carried the pure bloodline of the Vermilion Bird clan. Once transformed, Lily collapsed weakly into the clan lord's arms. My spirit core is too weak. Every time I transform, my heart bears far too great a strain. I fell gravely ill as a child and never received proper treatment, so it left a lasting weakness. The clan lord held Lily tightly. This is all my fault for not recognizing you sooner. Lily settled into the Vermilion Bird clan with remarkable ease. She looked up at the clan lord before her. May I call you father? Of course, I'm overjoyed to have a daughter like you. Even her brother seemed just as pleased. Just then, Xiaoya walked past carrying a basin of laundry. So this was the true young lady finally returned. Father and brother both looked so happy. Lily noticed Xiaoya as well. Who is that girl? She reeks. Doesn't she ever bathe? Her brother turned away. She's just a servant girl who lives on the estate. You needn't concern yourself with her. But just as they were about to leave, Lily pointed toward Xiaoya. I want her to be my personal maid. Father and brother both looked anxious. She's far too young. She'd be quite inconvenient. Let father find you a better servant. But Lily grew stubborn. I want this one exactly. She'll surely serve me well. The clan lord looked at Lily with utter indulgence. As you wish. Whatever you want, I'll give it to you. Her brother looked at the clan lord in astonishment. Father, but her status... The clan lord gestured for silence. Not another word. This is Lily's request. Lily happily took hold of Xiaoya's hand. The clan lord looked at her. Why are you so happy? Of course I am. I'm overjoyed. When I was wandering the streets, I didn't have a single friend my own age. Everyone despised me because I was just a begging orphan. A deep look of self-reproach crossed the clan lord's face. He sighed. I understand now. Lily, could you go with your brother for a moment? The clan lord's words reached Xiaoya's ears. It's been a while. You should understand your place. Watch your words carefully. There's a rumor that the midwife back then was your real mother, and that she secretly swapped you with Lily. If all of that is true, then Lily has had to bear everything that should have rightfully been hers since childhood. Everything that was meant to be hers was stolen away by a servant's child. So now, whatever my daughter wants, I will not hesitate to give it to her. Xiaoya clutched the fabric of her dress tightly. There had once been a time when she too had been a treasure in her father's palm, but to the father he was now. Perhaps she was nothing at all. So don't let Lily discover your true identity. If she gets hurt because of you, I will never forgive you. Xiaoya held back the tears, threatening to fall. I understand, my lord. A month after Lily's return, she celebrated her 9th birthday. I heard the 5th prince proposed marriage to the young lady today. Is it true? Does that mean she's about to become a royal bride? Look at this beautiful hair. Only the direct bloodline of the Vermilion Bird carries such a color. Xiaoya, what do you think? Xiaoya only felt the weight in her arms growing heavier by the second. She lowered her head quietly. That's right, she's stunning enough to move anyone's heart. Not long after, the 5th prince came to visit the Vermilion Bird clan. The 5th prince gazed ahead. Clan lord of the Vermilion Bird, I trust you've been well? Lily hurried forward to greet him. Greetings, your highness. My name is Lily. Welcome to the lands of the Vermilion Bird. Xiaoya hid among the crowd. So that's the 5th prince. This is the first time I've ever seen someone so beautiful. The 5th prince looked ahead and his pupils suddenly widened. Is his highness looking at me? Xiaoya quickly lowered her face. A servant beside her sneered. Now you're trying to win over the 5th prince too? Stealing Miss Lily's place wasn't enough, now you want the prince as well. The servants locked Xiaoya inside a storeroom. You'd best stay put in there until Miss Lily's birthday celebration is over. Night fell, moonlight slipping through the window and climbing over the clouds. Xiaoya sat in the storeroom, her stomach growling with hunger. She hadn't eaten a single bite all day. No one cared whether she lived or died. Ever since that incident, she had remained utterly alone until now. Suddenly, a voice called out beside her ear. Xiaoya, where are you? Xiaoya lifted her head, and to her astonishment, it was the fifth prince. The fifth prince pushed the door open and stepped inside. I searched everywhere, so this is where you are. Looking at the fifth prince seated beside her, Xiaoya was baffled. Your Highness, why have you come here? And how do you even know my name? The fifth prince pulled a pendant from inside his robe. Even if I return this to you, do you still not remember me? Xiaoya took it from his hand. It was the protective amulet she had once worn. 3 years earlier, while seeing her eldest brother off to war at the palace, she had met a young lord grieving his mother's death in the back garden. The boy's name was Ruipu. This amulet was left to me by my mother. Whenever I miss her, just looking at it brings me comfort. Brother Ruipu, let me lend it to you. I hope it will make you feel a little better. This is your mother's keepsake, something this precious. I couldn't possibly accept it. Xiaoya smiled at him. Once you're no longer sad, you can just give it back to me. The boy looked at the amulet in his hand, his mood seeming to lift considerably. All right then, I promise I'll return it to you. Then it's settled, Brother Ripu. I hope your grief passes soon. She never imagined that boy back then was the fifth prince all along. He looked at Xiaoya. I've come to keep my promise to you. I was worried I wouldn't make it in time, but I'm glad I can say this before today ends. Xiaoya, happy birthday. Astonishment washed over Xiaoya's face. That's right, today was her 9th birthday, yet no one had remembered. Her small hands clutched the amulet her mother had left her, and tears she couldn't hold back rolled down her cheeks. I'm sorry, the tears just won't stop. I'm so happy. Thank you, Your Highness. The fifth prince tilted his head at her. Don't call me Your Highness, just call me the way you used to. A flicker of surprise crossed his eyes. Xiaoya, what's happened to you? Why are you so completely different from what I imagined? Can you tell me what you've been through all this time? Years of pent-up grievance finally found someone to confide in. Xiaoya told the fifth prince everything. After listening, the fifth prince fell into thought. You said all of this happened on the very day of your first transformation. That does seem strange. Suddenly, he seemed to remember something important. He turned to look at Xiaoya. I have an urgent matter to look into. I must return to the palace at once. Xiaoya, don't be too sad. I promise I'll be back soon. He crouched down before her, just as he had years ago, and hooked his little finger with hers. When I return, I want to bring you to the palace, though of course, only if you agree to it. But neither of them knew that someone was eavesdropping on their conversation right by the window. That person was Lily. She clenched her fists tight. Who on earth has this brat latched onto that His Highness would come to fetch her himself? I've hated her from the very first glance, and I still do. That pretty face of hers. And the way father and brother secretly doted on her, it made me despise her all the more. So I deliberately made her my maid, to make her understand her place. But now things seem to be heading in a different direction. It was he who had taken her away. Xiaoya looked at the amulet snatched from her hand. Please give it back, my lady. I truly didn't steal it. Could it be something you got from His Highness, the fifth prince? As if anyone would believe that. The maid beside them gasped in shock. Isn't that the late lady's amulet? Lily also learned of the amulet's origins. She glared at Xiaoya, shouting, Why do you have my mother's belongings? Answer me now. Xiaoya remembered her father's warning. I can't let anyone discover the truth. It seems I need to leave right away. But Lily pointed at her. So it was you all along. You're the thief who stole my place. Overcome with emotion, Lily fainted the very next moment. Lying in bed, Lily made an unreasonable demand of her brother. If you don't want to see me die, get rid of her. Her brother sighed. Fine, I understand. If she's the one who hurt you, I'll make her disappear from your sight. Those cold words reached Xiaoya's ears, leaving her wide-eyed with fear. The next day, in a pavilion, I heard the young master was looking for me. Xiaoya kept her head down, not daring to look at her brother. He's surely going to throw me out of the clan right away, since Miss Lily said those things yesterday. But contrary to her expectations, her brother turned around, a smile crossing his face. Xiaoya, I've been so cold to you all this time, I'm truly sorry. Xiaoya's eyes widened in surprise. It's all right, young master. Speaking of which, today's the last day of the summer festival. Would you like to come see it with me? Xiaoya looked at her brother, unable to believe it. She hadn't expected him to remember. Long ago, her brother had told her, Once you complete your first transformation, I'll take you to the summer festival. Her brother reached into his robe. A moment later, he pulled out a spirit core. I'll give your spirit core back to you now. Xiaoya stared at the spirit core before her, a tangle of emotions in her heart. For a brother who had once so despised her transforming, agreeing to return her spirit core probably meant that whether she could transform or not no longer mattered to him at all. On a bustling, lively street, voices rang out everywhere, laughter filling the air. Xiaoya stared at the skewer of fruit before her, eyes wide with delight. Here, Xiaoya, this is your favorite. But when she turned around, her brother had already walked over to another stall. Give me one of those ruby-studded bracelets. It's a gift for my little sister. The stall owner smiled warmly. That young lady beside you must be your sister. She'll surely be delighted. Her brother pointed to another bracelet. I'll take this one too. Xiaoya took the bracelet, her face lit up with joy. Thank you so much, young master. I've always wanted to come to the summer festival. I never expected you'd remember. But her brother, looking at Xiaoya before him, let a barely perceptible expression flicker across his face. Before long, the two of them arrived at a large bridge. Her brother turned to leave. I have something to attend to. Wait for me here. But an odd, hallucinatory image suddenly flashed through Xiaoya's mind. What was this about? In the vision, her brother was speaking with a man dressed in black. The man in black looked at her brother. She's dead. Xiaoya snapped back to awareness in an instant. He said, I'm dead. What does that mean? Am I dreaming? Her brother suddenly turned back. I'll be back soon. Wait here, and whatever you do, don't leave. Xiaoya looked at her brother before her, as if she understood something. Perhaps this was the very moment she would be discarded. I heard you, young master. I'll wait for you here. The night sky glittered with stars, candlelight flickering inside the lanterns on the bridge. Xiaoya sat alone by the bridge. Her brother seemed completely unaware. Peaches were Lily's favorite fruit, but the moment Xiaoya ate one, she'd run a fever and her throat would swell. Maybe if I just endure it, it'll pass. But right now I don't have a single coin, no home to return to. What should I do? But suddenly a cold flash of light gleamed before Xiaoya. She jerked upright in fright, spotting a throwing knife jammed into the ground. A figure emerged slowly from the darkness. Xiaoya stared toward the figure, eyes wide with terror. This person, unbelievably, was the very man from her vision. This made Xiaoya realize what she'd seen was perhaps no illusion at all, but something bound to happen in the future. She never imagined her brother truly meant to send her to her death. Knowing the truth, Xiaoya's heart went cold in an instant. But suddenly a voice echoed in her mind. Run, Xiaoya! Though she had no idea why that voice sounded in her head, Xiaoya knew. If she didn't run now, she would truly lose her life. The pitch-black street lay empty, not a soul in sight. Xiaoya ran forward with everything she had. She couldn't help but glance back. But her foot caught on a stone. A moment later, she fell flat onto the ground. The bracelet her brother had given her that day shattered to pieces. The assassin closed in from behind. Finally caught you, you little rat. The assassin looked at her coldly, raising the long sword in his hand. A moment later, a cold flash of steel gleamed. Xiaoya sat on the ground in despair. It seems this time I really am going to die. But suddenly, a sharp clash of steel rang through the air. Xiaoya couldn't help but open her eyes and look up, a flicker of hope still lingering in her heart. Could it be Father, come to save me? But the man who'd suddenly appeared before her left her utterly stunned. He wore a black robe embroidered on the front with a roaring white tiger, once the noble daughter of the Vermilion Bird clan, now reduced to wandering the streets. Her father scorned her for her uncertain birth. Her brother had even resolved to kill her. A bond of blood once thicker than water had in this very moment crumbled to nothing. Baixian, clan lord of the White Tiger and mentor to the 5th Prince of Taihua, had been ordered to the Vermilion Birdlands in the south. Baixian knelt before the prince. Your complexion doesn't look well, your highness. Perhaps you should rest a while longer. The 5th Prince looked at Baixian. It's nothing. There's a task I need from you today. Go to the Vermilion Birdlands and steal the most precious thing there. Baixian looked at him in shock. Why must it be stolen? This was a mission whose purpose he simply couldn't grasp. Just do it, Xian. Complete this task and I'll grant you the dragon's bloodgrass you've been searching so hard for. Legend held that the dragon's bloodgrass was nourished by dragon's blood itself, the only elixir capable of purifying a corrupted spirit core. a condition Bai Xian simply couldn't refuse. In his heart, Bai Xian was puzzled. Aside from the clan's divine bow, nothing seemed to rival the most precious treasure of the Vermilion Birdlands. But was that truly all the prince wanted? In the pitch-black street, a cold flash of light suddenly flared. Bai Xian's long sword struck down an assassin about to strike. Watching the assassin collapse to the ground, Bai Xian looked on in astonishment. This is the emblem of the three-legged golden crow, the assassination unit of the Vermilion Bird clan. Why would this assassin target such a small girl? Xiaoya trembled with fear, her wide eyes fixed on Bai Xian before her. For one fleeting moment, she thought it was her father's back, for only he had shoulders so tall and sturdy. Looking at the shattered bracelet scattered across the ground, what a foolish thought. Father will absolutely never protect me now. Little Fluffball, are you all right? My name isn't Little Fluffball. My name is Xiaoya. Bai Xian laughed. Your name sounds just as soft as you look. A moment later, a sharp edge flickered across his eyes. You little thing, what quarrel could you possibly have with those chicken heads? They're three-legged golden crow assassins serving the Vermilion Bird clan. Xiaoya couldn't help but bow her head. So it really wasn't an illusion after all. My brother truly wants me dead. Tears streamed down her face. More than the fear of death, it was her brother's cold indifference that wounded her heart even more. Watching Xiaoya cry without a sound, Bai Xian broke into a cold sweat. I really am no good at soothing children. A little thing like you wandering the streets at this hour is far too dangerous. Let me take you home. Xiaoya wiped her tears. It's all right, I ran away from home. Ran away from home? Won't your family be worried? No, I don't have a family. Looking at Xiaoya before him, an idea suddenly sparked in Bai Xian's mind. The most precious thing in the Vermilion Birdlands, I have no idea what it is. But I can see that this child shares a deep bond with the Vermilion Bird clan. In that case, I'll just steal you too, little Fluffball. Xiaoya turned astonished. Do you mean you're going to kidnap me? Of everything Bai Xian had seen in the south, what moved him most was Xiaoya. Little Fluffball, would you be willing to let me take you away? Xiaoya looked at Bai Xian before her, and her father's image rose once more in her mind. Perhaps I can never be my father's daughter, or my brother's sister ever again. But if I stay here, my brother truly will kill me. I don't want to die. Following this man, perhaps I can survive. Xiaoya clenched her small hands tight. I don't want to stay here any longer. Please, take me with you. Bai Xian lifted Xiaoya up before him. Wonderful then. My name is Bai Xian, Clan Lord of the West. From now on, I'll call you Little Fluffball. This is something we've both agreed to, so you must never expose me for it later. In his arms, Xiaoya shook her head vigorously. I promise I'll never expose you. A moment later, Xiaoya slowly sank into Bai Xian's embrace. No one cares anyway. They'd probably even be glad if I disappeared. Little Fluffball, what's wrong? Why is your face so hot? Under a clear, endless sky in the White Tiger estate to the west. Father, she's so small, one gentle breath might blow her away. That's right, Lure, so you must be very careful. She didn't know how much time had passed before Xiaoya slowly opened her eyes. Where am I? Bai Xian and the little boy beside him looked at her with concern. Little Fluffball, you're finally awake. Xiaoya slowly came to her senses. I clearly remember fainting just now. Did he bring me here? Bai Xian turned to the servant beside him. Go check this child's health. Xiaoya jumped, startled. You don't need to check me. It's because I ate a peach. I'll be fine again in a little while. Bai Xian looked displeased. So they knew perfectly well little Fluffball gets sick from peaches and still fed her one? He turned and gave an order. Cut down every single peach tree on the estate immediately. The boy looked at Xiaoya, puzzled. Father, who on earth is this child? She's someone I picked up on the road. Or to be precise, someone I stole. Father, don't tell me you've decided to become a thief now? Xiaoya cut into their conversation. My name is Xiaoya. All right then, little Fluffball. From now on, you'll live here. Xiaoya looked at Bai Xian before her, her small hand unconsciously clutching the blanket. What's going to happen to me next? The next morning, a woman came to Xiaoya's bedside early. Young lady, are you awake? Xiaoya jumped at the sight of the stranger. Who are you? My apologies, I am Hu Yaner of the Red Fox clan. From today on, I shall serve you. I am Nan Xinhu of the Black Wolf clan. I will protect your safety, young lady. We look forward to serving you well. Their eagerness left Xiaoya somewhat flustered. Young lady is a title of nobility fit for someone like Lily, not for an unlucky thing like me. Hu Yan'er bowed her head. You are the clan lord's honored guest, of course you're the young lady. Xiaoya looked down at her own grimy hands. I can't trouble others just for my own sake. But the two servants looked disappointed. Being disrespectful to a guest is disrespect to the clan lord himself. Please allow us to show our respect to the clan lord. Fine, I'll do as you say. The two servants exchanged a smile. Well then, young lady, shall we begin with a bath? Do you know in the Taihua Empire, besides the Imperial Palace, there are also 4 great houses known as the 4 Palaces? In the east stands the Azure Sea Dragon Palace. In the west, the White Tiger Mountain Palace. In the south, the Vermilion Bird Heaven Palace. And in the north, the Black Tortoise Earth Palace. Xiaoya lowered her head, lost in memory. Her father had once said the very same thing to her. Our Vermilion Bird clan once held the most magnificent palace in the south. But now, all of that has become the past. Hu Yan'er looked at Xiaoya. The emperor recognizes the strength of the 4 great clans, and our White Tiger Hall is one of them. Xiaoya finally understood. That tiger truly was the emblem of the White Tiger Hall. She couldn't help but ask, who was that little boy standing beside Lord Xian last night? That's the youngest young master here. We have 3 young masters. The eldest son of the White Tiger is named Bai Jiaya, 15 years old this year. He's not especially warm, but he's a man of great integrity. The second young master is Bai Jiaxian, 11 years old this year. And the one who kept peeking through the crack in the door, that's our third young master, Bai Jielu, 10 years old this year. But at this hour, that young master really ought to be practicing his swordsmanship. Bai Jielu never expected to be caught, and when Xiaoya's gaze turned toward him, he froze as if struck by lightning. A moment later, he scurried off to one side like a startled mouse. His behavior made Hu Yan'er burst out laughing. It seems the young master must want to be your friend, young lady. Xiaoya quietly lowered her head. Friends with me? How could that possibly be? Why would you think that? Because he thinks you're just too adorable. Take a look, young lady. This is the special hairstyle Yan'er made just for you. Xiaoya looked up at Hu Yan'er. Yan'er, may I go visit Lord Xian? It was Lord Xian himself who carried me into this room. For now, just stay in this room. I almost mistook it for permission to stay here forever. But still, I hope this for now can last just a little longer. Because it's been so long since I've felt this kind of warmth. Before long, Xiaoya changed into a plain, simple outfit and went to pay her respects to Bai Xian. I am He Zhulong, in service to Lord Xian. What business brings you here? He Zhulong, I've come to thank Lord Xian. Then let me take you to see the master now. Please follow me. Master, young lady Little Fluffball has come to see you. She says she'd like to greet you. Bai Xian turned around. Wonderful! It seems Little Fluffball is back on her feet. Xiaoya looked ahead, feeling a touch of fear. The one who kept staring at me seems to be the second young master of the White Tiger Hall. It seems he doesn't like me very much. Xiaoya's small legs couldn't help but tremble. I've come to pay my respects to Lord Xian. I'm deeply grateful to you. Thank you for saving me and for treating me. Thank you for giving me a warm bed and clean clothes. Xiaoya's politeness left Bai Xian somewhat taken aback. As long as you're happy, that's all that matters. How are you feeling now? I feel much better now. My fever's gone, and my throat doesn't hurt anymore. A large hand gently stroked Xiaoya's head. You look much better when you're not in pain. Bai Xian turned to his third son. Take Little Fluffball to tour the Tiger Palace. Little Fluffball, you already met him yesterday, right? This is my son, Bai Jiaxian. Xiaoya didn't dare lift her head. This second young master doesn't seem to like me very much. Bai Jiaxian sighed. I understand what father means now. Xiaoya couldn't help but look up at him. A moment ago, stern Bai Jiaxian suddenly broke into a smile and held out his hand. Hello, you're Xiaoya, right? Want to tour the White Tiger Hall with me? Heart-pounding, Xiaoya carefully took his hand. Yes. Bai Xian stood quietly behind them, watching the scene. They look so close, just like real siblings, how adorable. Xiaoya looked at Bai Jiaxian ahead of her, gathering her courage to speak. Second young master. Bai Jiaxian turned his head, his face suddenly returning to its former sternness. A daughter once discarded by the Vermilion Bird clan like a worn-out shoe, quietly brought home by the White Tiger's master. But this rare and precious affection, How would his 3 sons come to treat her? Bai Jiaxian looked at Xiaoya before him. What could father possibly be thinking? Granting the crown of the western frontier to a child whose background even I can't see through. It turned out the White Tiger clan had a rule. If the clan lord's next generation had no daughter, a girl from a branch family could be registered into the main line. Because the clan needed to select a bride to offer the empire's prince, and that position existed precisely to nominate candidates. Everyone says the western frontier is full of fierce beasts, but I can clearly see she's no tiger. Those little hands of hers are pale and soft. A cat, perhaps, but cats aren't that docile. Or a rabbit. Judging by how she looks like she could survive on grass alone, a rabbit might suit her best. Young as he was, Bai Jiaxian's mind worked quickly. Could father really let this branch family girl become my sister? Before long, the two of them arrived at the back garden. Bai Jiaxian turned, his face bright with a smile. These flowers are beautiful, aren't they? Young as she was, Xiaoya had already seen through Bai Jiaxian's impatience. Hesitating inwardly, she still couldn't help but speak. Second young master must be very busy, right? Bai Jiaxian looked somewhat flustered. Ah, I am, rather busy. Thank you for taking time from your busy schedule to show me the garden. If you have matters to attend to, please go ahead. I can look around on my own. As if a great burden had lifted, Bai Jiaxian hurried away from the spot. Xiaoya sighed. I almost made a mistake. I only thought he didn't like me. It seems I was wrong. Memories she didn't wish to recall surfaced. She had always been the child others found detestable. Xiaoya glanced to one side, her eyes widening in surprise. It turned out to be the White Tiger clan's third young master, Bai Jialu, hiding behind the door, peeking at her. Hello, young master Bai Jialu. But Bai Jialu panicked. Ugh, I've been spotted. What do I do now? In his flustered state, his heel caught on the doorsill. Watching Xiaoya approach, Bai Jialu panicked further. Wait, don't come closer. Xiaoya looked at him with worry. But you just got hurt. Bai Jialu looked down, a large patch of skin scraped off his knee. He immediately began trembling from the pain. Though his eyes brimmed with tears, he still stood up and pointed at Xiaoya. I am the mighty Bai Jialu of the White Tiger clan. There's no way I'd cry over such a small wound. A moment later, he turned and fled in a panic. Xiaoya watched his retreating back, thoroughly confused. Could he be angry because I made him trip? Just then, Hu Yaner and Nan Xinhu came running. Young lady, we finally found you. The young master is simply too much, leaving you here all alone. Xiaoya quickly explained. The second young master is very kind. He showed me all around. Hu Yaner took Xiaoya's hand. Our young lady is just too sweet. Let's head back to your room now. On the way back, Xiaoya remained troubled and unhappy. She looked at Hu Yaner. The young master scraped his leg because of me. Why would you worry about something like that? Young masters bumping and scraping themselves is perfectly normal. There's no need to fret. The young master is an incredibly fierce tiger, you know. But that fierce little tiger was now wailing loudly. Gentler, please. It really hurts. Good thing she didn't see me looking so weak. The servant beside him teased. Speaking of which, that girl isn't even a tiger. Why did you run so fast, young master? Tears kept welling up in Bai Jialu's eyes from the pain. I think she's just a puppy. Puppies are the ones with those glistening tear streaks like that. Besides, they can't even groom themselves, so their fur ends up all messy like that. But dogs among the beastkin are naturally quite sturdy, while that young lady looks rather frail. So what on earth is she then? She doesn't have spines all over like a hedgehog, and her neck isn't long like a deer's. Maybe she isn't a native beast of the West at all. After all, the clan lord picked her up from the south, that must be it. The young master spent the whole day trailing after little Fluffball. Hearing this, Bai Xian laughed heartily. Even that little brat has started liking little Fluffball. This scene is just too heartwarming. One little one chasing after an even littler one all over the place. It's such fun to watch. He Zhulong looked at Bai Xian, thoroughly suspicious. Clan lord, about this little Fluffball, could she perhaps be a love child you've hidden among the commoners? You went to see His Highness and somehow came back with a little girl out of nowhere, not to mention you even arranged a private room for her. Bai Xian looked somewhat embarrassed. A love child? What an absurd misunderstanding. Then what on earth is her background? You can't possibly have just picked her up off the roadside. Bai Xian clenched his fist. Honestly, she just happened to drift onto the road I was traveling. But thinking it over carefully, was this truly just a coincidence? The fifth prince had once carefully instructed him. The most precious thing in the Vermilion Birdlands doesn't belong there. Someone like you need only glance at it to recognize it at once. If you can manage it, I'll grant you the dragon's bloodgrass you've searched for so long. The dragon's bloodgrass was said to be nourished by dragon's blood of legend, an elixir that blooms only once when an emperor ascends the throne. A mere prince could never obtain such a thing on his own. Yet the fifth prince had assured him with conviction, I will become emperor. Before this year ends, I will bring you the dragon's bloodgrass. In Bai Xian's memory, never had the fifth prince's expression been so grave. The most precious thing of the Vermilion Bird clan, this is rather troublesome. What if I take it and simply run off, never to return? That's not something just anyone can easily possess. You need only ensure it flows from wherever it is into my hands. A hidden prince entangled in a scheme to steal something from the Vermilion Birdlands. Could all of this truly be mere coincidence? Clan Lord, you've brought out the Western Frontier crown meant for a branch family lady, and everyone harbors doubts. Do you truly intend to let that furry little thing sit in that position? Bai Xian fell into thought. I never had a daughter to begin with. If I let her call me father, that doesn't sound so bad. He Zhilong grew somewhat anxious. Adopting a young lady is a matter of great importance for the entire clan. It's not something that can be decided just because she's pretty and adorable. Bai Xian covered his ears. I know, but there simply isn't another young lady with a background suited to the clan. Clan Lord, I understand that girls' circumstances truly are unfortunate, but it would still be better to send her to a suitable family for adoption. Bai Xian immediately looked displeased. You cold-faced, heartless fox! Don't you feel even the slightest concern for that little fluff ball? He Zhilong was about to press further when Hu Yan'er walked in just then. Bai Xian looked toward her. What's the matter? It's about the young lady in the West Wing. There's something I wish to tell you. I feel something isn't quite right about her. Why is she so frail? Being this weak, how could she possibly survive? Young master, if the clan lord discovers you're skipping training like this, there will be trouble. Get out of my way, I'm doing something extremely important. I have to find out little Fluffball's true identity. She looks so small and fragile. I've been worried that if I get too close, she might faint from fright. But suddenly, Xiaoya really did faint. This gave Bai Jialu quite a fright. She really fainted. Little Fluffball, are you all right? Where are you? At last, Bai Jialu discovered a small white bird lying unconscious on the ground. He looked puzzled. Could this little bird actually be young lady little Fluffball? The servant beside him grew excited. This must be young lady little Fluffball. Look at that adorable little tail wagging. There's no other creature in this place as lovely as she is. Bai Jialu looked at little Fluffball in his hands, and once again sensed vaguely that something was wrong. Wait, something seems off about her spirit core. Bai Jialu's voice echoed through the ritual hall. Aunt Silo, are you there? A woman stepped out. What insolent beast dares barge into the sanctuary without permission? That woman was Bai Silo, priestess of the White Tiger Hall. She looked at Bai Jialu with a headache coming on. So it's Bai Xian's little brat. Bai Jialu burst into anxious tears. Aunt Silo, please hurry and save little Fluffball. She suddenly made a strange sound and then fainted. Bai Silo lowered her head. Don't panic, let me take a look. She slowly reached her hand toward little Fluffball, a faint mystical light rippling around the bird's small body. But suddenly her eyes flew open, filled with shock. She pointed at the servant beside her. Go fetch Bai Xian here at once. Meanwhile, at the Vermilion Bird Palace in the south. That girl, Xiaoya, how is she now? The assassin's report seemed to stir something in Hua Yu's heart. She's dead. The assassin pulled an object from inside his robe. This was found at the spot where she vanished. Hua Yu looked at the object in his hand. This is the bracelet I gave her that day. I understand. So she really is dead then? He clenched the bracelet, pressing it to his chest. I never truly meant to kill her, I swear. I only wanted her gone from Lily's sight. Because as long as she was around, Lily would always be miserable. Though they hadn't found a body, even if she were still alive, she surely couldn't survive much longer. Bai Silo beside him reported the results of her examination. This child's spirit core has been severely damaged. Did you truly not notice? Bai Xian's expression darkened. A spirit core can only be examined during transformation. I've never once seen little Fluffball transform. There may be more to it than that. This child's spirit core appears to have been deliberately destroyed by someone. A heartless father, a merciless brother. Even after Xiaoya had fled the Vermilion Birdlands, they had never once let her go. And that shattered spirit core was the clearest proof of it all. Shock filled Baixian's eyes. To think she managed to hold on this long without a spirit core at all. That's probably why this child is so frail and small. Without a spirit core, she simply cannot grow normally. Stealing a spirit core was something only those wielding overwhelming power could dare attempt. And such power was granted only to the 4 great clans. Quan Yuyun, clan lord of the Vermilion Bird, had personally stolen this child's spirit core. Baixian looked at the unconscious Xiaoya. A man renowned for his benevolence in the south, how could he do such a thing? Baisilo also looked helpless. It seems the child's spirit core was deliberately destroyed by someone. Fury rose on Baixian's face. Why would that man be so vicious, deliberately destroying a child's spirit core? Come to think of it, that guard who came here before said something similar. Clan Lord, I have something to report about the young lady in the West Wing. While helping her bathe, I discovered her neck and shoulders were covered in scars. Given that condition, she must have suffered long-term abuse. Baixian furrowed his brow. It seems I must send someone south to investigate. Baisilo tilted her head at him. I've already given her a precious elixir, now she needs proper rest to recover. But if we can't properly address her spirit core, the root of the problem will never be solved. And you must know, the only way to fully restore a spirit core is the dragon's blood grass. Baijalu's tear-filled eyes suddenly went wide. Little Fluffball's awake. Father and son looked at her with worried eyes brimming with tenderness. Little Fluffball, are you all right? Where does it hurt? Xiaoya rubbed her eyes. Lord Xian, young master, where am I? I remember I was standing on a rock and then I must have dozed off. Xiaoya sat up hurriedly. I'm sorry, have I caused everyone trouble again? I really am a wicked little bird. Baixian looked at Xiaoya quietly, his eyes brimming with affection and helplessness. How could that ever be trouble? He reached his large hand out, gently stroking her head. Don't worry anymore, little Fluffball. Baijalu leaned in close to examine her carefully. Father, you made little Fluffball cry. It's all your fault. That's not it. I just yawned, that's all. She lightly smacked herself with her small hand. See, I'm fine now. Baixian lowered his head. Little Fluffball must be terribly sleepy. That's why she yawned so big. Baisilo looked at Xiaoya, the little bird resembling a puffball of cotton. Let's have a little chat, shall we? Baixian turned his head. Little Fluffball still needs to rest, though. Baisilo looked somewhat put out. As priestess of the White Tiger Hall, I have something to discuss with her. Are you afraid I'll eat her or something? Baijalu shouted anxiously. What's going on? Aunt, are you going to eat little Fluffball? Baisilo's expression looked ready to snap. Why on earth would you two think of something so terrifying? Aunt, she's so little she can't handle a fierce expression like that from you. The two of you are far too noisy. Get out of my sight this instant. Xiaoya looked at Baisilo before her, astonished. Do you mean my spirit core is already broken? It seems you truly had no idea. Your spirit core lost its function entirely a long time ago. Xiaoya simply couldn't make sense of it. Her brother Hua Yu, who had once stolen her spirit core, could he really hate me that much? Hate me enough to destroy my very spirit core? The grief of a bond long since drained dry brought tears streaming down, Xiaoya's body trembling without pause. Baisilo scratched her head. I really am terrible at comforting children. Let me introduce myself properly. I am Baisilo, priestess of the White Tiger Hall. This is the sanctuary I oversee. This place has excellent soundproofing, meaning you're free to cry as loudly as you like here. Xiaoya stood frozen, tears welling in her eyes. What do you have to cry about? The one who deserves pity most is surely young Lady Lily. You're such a bother. Hurry up and scram. Back at the Vermilion Bird Clan, whenever she cried, everyone would only grow angrier. Don't tell me you want me to hold you and comfort you. That's not it at all. Fine then, this child really is quite the clingy one. Baisilo stroked Xiaoya's head. Truly a little puffball soaked through with tears. Hu Yaner and Nan Xinhu also welled up with tears. Young lady, we're truly sorry. We should have stayed by your side the whole time. Please don't say that. Why would you need to apologize? No, this won't do. From now on, wherever we go, we must hold your hand. From that day on, no matter where Xiaoya went, Huyaner and Nanshinhu followed along. There's one more person. Young master, shouldn't you be at the training grounds right now? Well, who told her to be so fragile, falling over at the slightest thing, so I had no choice in the matter. What I mean is, the great third young master of the White Tiger clan can specially protect you. Xiaoya's eyes went wide. Why me? Bai Jialu's face flushed red, finally coming up with a rather unconvincing reason. Because I'm worried you might run into a ghost. Xiaoya gasped in fright. Does this place really have ghosts? That's right. The White Tiger Hall has a terrifying ghost that specifically hunts children like you. This was the first time Bai Jialu had seen Xiaoya's transformed form. She was barely the size of a palm, small, fluffy wings in place of forelegs, and such tiny legs. Could she even really walk on those? Her snow-white feathers felt soft and downy to the touch. She was simply too adorable. If there really is a ghost, then aren't you the one in danger, young master? I'm fine. I'm the third young master of the White Tiger clan. I'm not afraid of ghosts at all. I'm an incredibly fierce tiger. My teeth are matchlessly sharp. My claws hard as steel. Xiaoya still seemed not quite to understand. It seems I have no choice but to show you what true tiger majesty looks like. A moment later, right before Xiaoya's eyes, Bai Jialu transformed instantly. Roar! Well, impressive enough. That's just too adorable. Your paw pads are pink, they look so soft. And this fur feels so soft to the touch, too. Little fluffball, now let me see your transformation technique. Xiaoya didn't dare try at all. I can't do it. And besides, I don't look pretty at all, so no, absolutely not. If he sees my beast form, he'll surely find it disgusting. Everyone always looks at me with those strange eyes. A ball rolled into the corridor. The little tiger cub said excitedly, Little fluffball, want to play catch? Hurry and throw it over here, little fluffball. Bai Jiaxian watched the scene from the second floor. What is that brat doing? It's training time and he's sneaking off to play catch. Just a tiger cub who hasn't even hit his second growth spurt yet at this rate. When will he ever grow up? And what about that girl playing with Lure? Lure must have asked her to play and she had no way to refuse, so she's just gritting her teeth and going along with it. It's obvious, just like how she clearly can't eat peaches, yet ate one anyway. Are you worried about young lady Xiaoya? Not at all. Why would anyone worry about someone who can't even take care of herself? What concerns me most right now is that the branch clan's tiger cubs must be arriving soon. This year's Mountain Lord Festival is sure to be lively. It turned out the Mountain Lord Festival was the occasion when young tiger clans gathered at the White Tiger Hall to compete and vie for the title of Mountain Lord. But this year would prove different. The results of the Mountain Lord Festival would determine which new young lady would be registered into the White Tiger Hall, so all the tiger clans were fighting for that advantage. Bai Jiaxian fell into thought. At this Mountain Lord Festival, which children should I be watching? First, young lady Along of the Brown Tiger clan, she's far too foolish, not fit to be a representative. As long as she doesn't embarrass her own clan, that would already be a win. Then there's young lady Xiao of the Silver Tiger clan, but I'm not particularly fond of her. You're quite blunt, young master, so what kind of person do you prefer then? Bai Jiaxian gazed ahead, his eyes distant. Sooner or later, I'll have a little sister anyway. Perhaps someone a bit smaller, a bit fairer, a bit softer would do. Huyaner handed over a water flask. The young master really never stops moving, finally got dragged off to training. And besides, you were clearly feeling unwell, yet still forced yourself to play with him. That's not true. I really did have a lot of fun playing with him. Does the White Tiger Hall really have a ghost? Huyaner tilted her head. Are you asking about what the young master said? Are you afraid of ghosts? What girl isn't afraid of ghosts? Xiaoya's eyes went wide with fright as she looked ahead. But it's not that I'm scared. I'm just worried the ghost might take the young masters away. So the little tiger really is this adorable? I think I need to protect the young masters properly. If they heard you say that, they'd surely be overjoyed. Xiaoya hugged the gourd, her eyes filled with delight. Really? Ghosts are a little scary, but it's all right. I'll definitely protect the young masters well. At last, Xiaoya had found her place to belong within the White Tiger clan. The caring gazes of Bai Xian and his sons felt so genuine. But this small happiness, how long could it possibly last? Bai Xian pressed a hand to his chest. Every 2 weeks, his chest would ache sharply, just as it had that day. In that battle long ago, his spirit core too had suffered damage beyond repair. That heart-wrenching pain. He never imagined a child so small would have to endure something like this for so long. His sister had helped restore her body temporarily, but unless they could fully heal her spirit core, the root problem would remain unsolved. And the only way to fully restore a spirit core was the dragon's blood grass. Come to think of it, that prince who promised me the dragon's blood grass hasn't contacted me at all since that day. He said he'd come check on things once he'd settled the matters in the palace. Could that cautious prince be stirring up trouble in the palace? Bai Xian couldn't help but feel a headache coming on. Looks like I won't be sleeping well again tonight. Quiet moonlight slipped through the window. A small sneaking figure crept inside. It was Xiaoya, a small charm clutched in her hand, her eyes full of determination. A few hours earlier, Xiaoya had innocently believed Bai Jelu's claim that the manor was haunted. People back at the Vermilion Bird clan used to say of her, "What are those wretched ghosts even doing? Why haven't they carried off this vicious brat who torments young Lady Lily?" Perhaps the ghosts simply refused to take her because she was too filthy. The servants often burned anything she'd touched, claiming even ghosts would keep their distance. Xiaoya clenched her small fists. If I place my personal belongings by the roadside, the ghosts won't be able to harm them. Xiaoya spread her hands open. But I don't have any belongings of my own. The embroidered pouch I carried at the temple fair is lost now. And the bracelet Hua Yuji gave me is broken too. Her little head turned this way and that until finally she thought of a good idea. If I clean these little pebbles up, they should work just fine. These pebbles have all passed through my hands. I just need to place them beside Lord Xian and the young masters. Night fell and Xiaoya crept out of her room, but seeing the pitch-black darkness outside, she shrank back in fear. Hu Yaner hurried over to ask, "Young lady, it's already past bedtime. Are you still planning to go out?" "So you're making ward charms for the clan lord and the young masters? They'll surely be delighted." He Zhulong spotted them, puzzled. "Little Fluffball, what brings you here this late at night?" "So these are ward charms little Fluffball made with her own hands. I'm quite envious of the clan lord." "Honestly, I'm terrified of ghosts too. I'd like one as well." "Then I'll make one for you too." "Really? Then let's pinky promise on it." Hu Yaner raised an objection. "Young lady, that's not fair. You see me every single day, yet you're making one for this old fox first." "All right then, Yaner, I'll make one for you first." "So, young lady, now you can go in and give the charm to the clan lord." In the study, Bai Xian had already fallen fast asleep. Xiaoya looked at Bai Xin before her. Lord Xian must be exhausted. I absolutely mustn't wake him. But suddenly Bai Xian let out a pained groan. This gave Xiaoya quite a fright. What should I do? Did I come too late? Have the ghosts already latched onto him? "Please, you ghosts, stop tormenting Lord Xian." But suddenly, the charm in the palm of her hand burst into a dazzling glow. The next morning, Bai Xian stretched. "Why do I feel so unusually refreshed today? It must be because last night was the full moon, when dark energy is at its strongest." Suddenly, he noticed a small object on the table. "What's this?" He Zhulong happened to walk in just then. "This is the ward charm young lady little Fluffball left for you yesterday." "A ward charm? Don't tell me the White Tiger Hall has a ghost I don't know about. As for that, it was the young master who told her about it. That brat Jielu is always spouting strange nonsense day and night. But this thing little Fluffball gave me, I slept remarkably well all night. Maybe it really does work. With that small frame of hers, and still she wants to protect me. But honestly, it really does warm the heart. Since you've received such a fine gift, why not give her something in return? Last winter, His Majesty gifted me a sword. I don't need it anyway, why not give that sword to her?" Good heavens, only the young masters would ever like something like that. You truly don't understand a girl's heart at all. Girls this age prefer cute, delicate things instead. What a prejudiced thing to say. Don't assume girls dislike swords? But that's a real sword, heavy and sharp. What if little Fluffball gets hurt playing with it? Little Fluffball getting hurt certainly wouldn't do. But what would she actually like then? Meanwhile, in her room, Hu Yaner was instructing Xiaoya to drink her medicine. Xiaoya lifted the large bowl of medicine before her. A moment later, she drank it down without the slightest hesitation. The herbal brew was bitterly foul, yet she didn't utter a single complaint. If it had been the young master, he'd surely have run off screaming. Why was this child so obedient? Now that you've finished your medicine, would you like a little something sweet? Watching Hu Yunner's hand reach toward her, Xiaoya opened her small mouth. So sweet, it's been so long since I've had candy this good. Lord Xian said to stay here for now. I truly hope this for now can last a long, long time. Long enough that I can remember this sweetness forever. A knock sounded at the door. Young lady Little Fluffball, are you in your room? This is a gift from Lord Xian. He says it's to thank you for your charm. Shall we open it and see? Xiaoya slowly opened the box. Inside was a small fluffy tiger cub plushie. Don't just stare at it like that, go on and hug it. This is a gift from the clan lord, you know. Xiaoya carefully lifted it, cradling it in her arms. Holding it to her chest, soft and fluffy, it felt wonderfully comforting. Elsewhere, within the Vermilion Bird clan, Father, look, a flower's bloomed here the same color as my hair. That's right, it's beautiful, just like you. A flicker of comfort crossed Kuan Yuyun's face. I once worried that incident would hurt Lily, but seeing her recover so quickly, I can finally rest easy. Just then, someone stepped up behind them. Father, there's something I need to tell you. That child is dead. Before long, the two of them arrived at the study. I only meant to send her a little further from the Vermilion Bird Palace. But by the time the three-legged golden crow arrived under my orders, the child had already vanished, leaving only bloodstains behind. We only found this embroidered pouch nearby. Father, do you know what this pouch was for? Kuan Yuyun looked utterly disbelieving. Father, what should I do if I can't be like you and my brother? If I can't transform into a magnificent vermilion bird? Put your father's feather inside this pouch. As long as you carry it like an amulet, everything will go smoothly. No matter what, even if you fail, you will always be my daughter. If her transformation had failed back then, if she hadn't turned into a bird as white as snow, would things have turned out differently? Kuan Yuyun looked at the feather in his hand. I never imagined the feather I once gave her. She carried with her all this time. He slammed his hand on the table. No matter what, find that child. Hua Yu spoke, moved. Even if she isn't dead, she can't have long left to live. Because her spirit core was destroyed long ago. Kuan Yuyun looked coldly at Hua Yu. Regardless, bring the body back. Only then can I be certain whether she's truly dead. Kuan Yuyun learned of Xiaoya's death through Hua Yu's words. Old memories came flooding back. Perhaps in this very moment, a flicker of regret stirred faintly within him. Meanwhile, Bai Jialu was smugly showing off to Bai Jiaxian. Look at this. This is the ward charm I got from Little Fluffball. Bai Jiaxian looked somewhat exasperated. What nonsense are you talking about? Where would a ghost even come from? Suddenly, as if he'd remembered something. If that's what you say, then the thing that child left in my room last night must have been... It turned out that the night before, Xiaoya had snuck into his room. Bai Jiaxian had pretended to be asleep, wanting to see just what she was up to. But when morning came, he'd found a small stone left on his table. What an irritating prank, he'd simply tossed the stone into the trash. Bai Jialu followed behind Bai Jiaxian, chattering nonstop. Didn't you see Little Fluffball transform, brother? I saw it. She's so tiny, adorable beyond words. But why is Little Fluffball so scared of transforming? It's really strange. Maybe it's because she's too cute. She's afraid of being kidnapped. Brother, what should we do? What if Little Fluffball gets hurt? Why did you suddenly stop, young master? When did I even get to the training grounds, master? You snuck off while I wasn't looking yesterday, too. Are you trying that again today? Bai Jiaxian grabbed hold of Bai Jialu. Just take him away already. In the end, Bai Jialu was dragged off by his master, thoroughly unwilling. Bai Jiaxian watched him go, sighing. Finally, some peace and quiet. Xiaoya, covered in dirt, was searching for something amid the flower bushes. Suddenly, someone stepped up beside her. She turned her head, and it turned out to be Bai Jiaxian approaching. Xiaoya quickly stood up to greet him. Hello, second young master. Hello, Xiaoya, playing alone in the garden? Right, Xiaoya, you left trash in my room last night. This kind of prank is really quite a bother. Xiaoya never expected that stone to be seen as trash by the second young master. It was clearly the amulet she'd painstakingly crafted. But in the eyes of a noble young master, perhaps it truly did look like garbage. From now on, don't enter my room without my permission. You're not even qualified to be part of the White Tiger clan yet. Xiaoya quickly bowed her head in apology. I'm sorry, young master. It won't happen again. But after saying those words, for some reason, Bai Jiaxian felt a twinge of guilt inside. He didn't linger any longer. Well, I'll be off then. Have fun here. Xiaoya wiped her small face. Maybe it's because that charm looked too much like a plain rock. I should use better material to make one for the young master. But the best material I have is that tiger cub plushie. That was a gift from Lord Xian. I definitely can't just give it away to someone else. But just then, a palanquin stopped in the courtyard. Guests had arrived at the White Tiger clan. The moment his training ended, Bai Jialu rushed impatiently to play with Xiaoya. He said excitedly, I told you so, the stone little fluff ball found is the prettiest one. Xiaoya looked at Bai Jialu before her, eyes wide. But suddenly she felt a sharp pain in her chest, unable to help but clench her fists. Once her body settled a little, she looked at the thing before her. Yun air, what's that? Young lady truly has a keen eye. You could paint those stones with color and use them as gifts. What a wonderful idea. Painted with color, the stones would look so much nicer, perhaps even the second young master would like them. Speaking of which, I just saw a young lady in pink stepping down from a palanquin. Who was that? The Mountain Lord Festival is about to begin. The tiger clans from the branch families must be arriving one after another. The Mountain Lord Festival is a grand gathering of young tiger clans across the Western territories, competing for the title of Mountain Lord. Xiaoya tilted her head. So they're all tigers then? Bai Jialu chuckled, chiming in. Of course they're all tigers, though none of them have such magnificent fur as mine. Xiaoya quickened the pace of her hands. Then I need to make more charms to give to those guests. They're all guests of Lord Xian, so this way I'll be protecting everyone. Elsewhere in the study, news had arrived. Clan Lord, the matter you asked about regarding the Southern Territory has been investigated, but no one knows the name Xiaoya. Bai Xian tilted his head. Even the Vermilion Bird clan couldn't possibly hide a child without anyone knowing. There are only two possibilities now, either Little Fluffball ran away on her own, or she never left the Vermilion Bird estate at all. A deep glint flickered in Bai Xian's eyes. Come to think of it, Clan Lord, you wouldn't happen to be suspecting that young lady Little Fluffball is a child of the Vermilion Bird clan, would you? Why not? They're around the same age. The Vermilion Bird clan's daughter recently just turned 9, completed her first coming-of-age ceremony, and was registered within the clan. Her name is Lily, but a daughter of the Vermilion Bird House would have no reason to be hunted down. If we absolutely must explain it somehow, could she perhaps be a maid who served the Vermilion Bird young lady? That's not impossible either, but the only thing we can be certain of right now is that Little Fluffball surely comes from within the Vermilion Bird clan. Zhulong, last time I gave Little Fluffball a gift, she even wrote me a letter in reply. In it, she expressed her gratitude to me. Look at her handwriting, isn't it round and endearing? He Zhulong sighed. That still doesn't prove anything. The most important thing is, she isn't a tiger. Right, have you looked over those branch clan ladies' profiles I brought you? I haven't looked at any of it at all, have I? Clan Lord, before this Mountain Lord Festival ends, you must decide how to handle the matter of Little Fluffball. But just then, Bai Xian's eyes lit up. Xiaoya carried a small basket, looking timidly ahead. Lord Xian, I've come to see you. He Zhulong leaned in. What brings you here, young lady Little Fluffball? Xiaoya pulled a stone from her basket. This is the charm I promised to give you a few days ago. Oh my, did you paint this yourself? I don't know if I'm even worthy of such a precious gift. Bai Xian beside her gritted his teeth in irritation. This fox really knows how to get on my nerves. Little Fluffball, you really don't need to be so polite with this wicked fox. Xiaoya picked up another stone. I made an extra one specially for Lord Xian too, and even painted a picture on it. Bai Xian crouched down before her. You really didn't need to go through such trouble, making an extra one just for me. But Little Fluffball, why did you paint a cat on this one? This isn't a cat, doesn't Lord Xian like it? I'm sorry, I must have seen it wrong. Looking closer, this is clearly a tiger. That's right, Clan Lord's eyesight hasn't been so good lately. That's true, my eyesight hasn't been good lately. That's exactly why Little Fluffball should come visit me more often. Xiaoya blinked her big eyes. Do my visits really help that much? Of course, young lady. Whenever you come, this quiet study lights up entirely. Xiaoya carried her little basket, her face full of joy. I've handed out a charm to everyone I've met, so there aren't many left now. I really hope the second young master will like mine. Suddenly, a girl appeared behind her. Who are you? I've never seen you before. That girl was along of the brown tiger clan, looking puzzled. Why don't you look like a tiger at all? Xiaoya quickly bowed in greeting. Hello, I'm Xiaoya. Lord Xian brought me here. Lord Xian brought you here? So you're the little fluffball who's been hogging the West Wing. Do you even know that the room you're staying in is reserved for the White Tiger clan's eldest young lady? My father told me only the finest tiger of this Mountain Lord Festival is qualified to move into the West Wing and become the White Tiger's young lady. Xiaoya finally understood. No wonder the entire White Tiger Palace had only a single boudoir, and yet they'd still kindly let her borrow such a precious room for now. Xiaoya quickly explained. I'm not the real owner of that room, I'm only borrowing it temporarily. Don't tell me someone like you also wants to become Lord Xian's daughter. Just look at yourself. You're not even a beast. You're nothing but a fake tiger. Those words pierced Xiaoya's heart like a poisoned thorn. You, a fraud who stole a young lady's place. You've deceived everyone in this household. The bamboo basket in Xiaoya's hands fell to the ground. I never meant to take that young lady's place. Xiaoya clutched at her aching chest. Along looked at her, somewhat surprised. What's wrong with you? Are you sick or something? But suddenly a voice rang out behind them. What are you all doing? The one who arrived was Yin Xiao of the Silver Tiger Clan. You're a young lady along of the Brown Tiger Clan, aren't you? I once had some expectations of you. After all, we're rivals competing for the West Wing position. I never expected you'd bully a frail child who isn't even part of the Tiger Clans. I'm truly disappointed. Along opened her mouth anxiously. I didn't do anything. I really didn't mean to bully her. Xiaoya looked at Yin Xiao. This truly is a misunderstanding, young lady. Along didn't bully me at all. I just felt a bit unwell. Along turned back to look at her. Is that so? Your complexion really does look terrible. But the very next moment she hurried away, as if desperate to avoid Xiaoya at all costs. Don't pretend we're close from now on, understood? After Along left, Xiaoya thanked Yin Xiao. Thank you for your concern, but I really wasn't bullied. Yin Xiao bent down to pick up the bamboo basket. If you ever need my help, just let me know, anytime. Thank you so much, young lady Xiao. I'll be sure to remember that. Reaching a spot with no one around, Xiaoya sank against the wall as if all her strength had drained away. She had always worried how long Lord Xian's for now could possibly last. The true owner of this room would surely arrive soon. So I'll probably be leaving the White Tiger Palace soon. Ever since Bai Xian had brought Xiaoya home, Bai Jiaxian had quietly kept an eye on things from the sidelines. In truth, he had never been good at expressing his own feelings. Every day at this hour, he'd stand by this window looking out. How strange. She usually takes her walk here around this time, but lately I haven't seen her at all. I even picked that stone back out of the trash, washed it clean, and set it on the windowsill so she'd notice it. Wait, this makes it sound like I'm particularly concerned about that child. I clearly have plenty of other things to worry about. A servant appeared behind him. Young master, the Silver Tiger clan asks if you'd like to have tea together. How should we respond? Then let's set out now. Before the Mountain Lord Festival, we really should meet with the Brown Tiger and Black Tiger clans. Wait, what's that you're holding? Oh, this is a charm young lady little fluffball made for me. She painted it herself and even had it fired. Don't tell me the young master didn't receive one? Of course I did, and even before you at that. That's not what I meant. Yesterday she gathered a whole pile of stones, painted pictures on them, and gave one to everyone in the White Tiger Hall. A look of resentment crossed Bai Jiaxian's face. Furious, he grabbed the stone and headed for the front door. I don't need this trash of a rock. But when he opened the door, he found Xiaoya standing right there. The sight left them both frozen in shock. Xiaoya spun around and hurried off. Second young master, I'm sorry. Bai Jiaxian looked flustered. Wait, that's not what I meant. But Xiaoya had already run far away. Xiaoya ran to some spot, panting. That was close. If he'd heard those words, it would have upset him even more. But it seems he really doesn't like that stone. Perhaps before I leave the White Tiger Palace, I should make him another charm. But suddenly 2 tiger cubs appeared before her. You foolish brown tiger, are you even a tiger at all? You think I'd want to be family with you? I only came out of curiosity. No unlucky tiger would ever want to be family with a dim-witted tiger like you. Bai Jialu opened his tiger mouth wide. How dare you call me dim-witted? Have you said enough? Xiaoya's voice cut through their quarrel. Young masters, what are you all doing? Bai Jialu paused for a moment. A moment later, he happily bounded over to Xiaoya. But the brown tiger behind him flew into a rage. "You're trying to run away, are you?" A moment later, the two of them scuffling knocked Xiaoya straight to the ground. "You dare knock over little Fluffball too?" The brown tiger also realized her mistake, sitting frozen in place. Xiaoya slowly picked herself up. "Young lady Along, you don't need to worry so much. I'm not hurt at all." Along's tiger tail bristled instantly. "Where are you touching?" A moment later, she fled swiftly. "You're the first one to ever hug me that tight, just you wait." Xiaoya watched her retreating back and burst out laughing. "Ever since our first meeting, I felt young lady Along was somewhat like the young master." Bai Jialu looked thoroughly unconvinced. "Me like that foolish tiger? How could you say something so cruel?" "Young master, there's something I'm very curious about. What does the second young master actually like?" "What Jiaxianji likes, honestly, I have no idea either. Why would I bother caring what that guy who's always dumping me on my master likes?" "Young master, are you upset? Just because I said you're like young lady Along? Ugh, it seems you really are upset. Don't tell me you don't want to make up with me anymore." Suddenly, Bai Jialu seemed to notice something. He spun around and lunged forward. "Why are you sneaking around here spying on us?" "Little Fluffball, let go quickly. Why are you hugging me?" "Young master, you shouldn't do that. You'll scare young lady Xiao." "Tiger cubs are always roughhousing like this. Haven't you ever seen a tiger before?" "Young master, I know you didn't mean it, but I think you should still apologize to young lady Yin Xiao." Yin Xiao looked at them, bewildered. "It's all right, young master. I'm not hurt at all. I happened to be passing by and overheard your conversation by chance. It seems you were curious about what Brother Jiaxian likes." "Yes, I want to make a charm for the second young master since he doesn't seem to like those stones very much." Bai Jialu looked reluctant. "You're giving my second brother a gift again? Forget about him, little Fluffball." But Yin Xiao spoke up at this point. "If you're asking what Brother Jiaxian likes, then the sky blossom that blooms halfway up Tiger Forest Mountain should suit him well. Brother Jiaxian loves flower arranging. He'll surely love this gift." "The second young master likes flower arranging? I had no idea at all. Thank you so much, young lady Xiao." Bai Jialu spoke up from her arms. "Little Fluffball, are you going up Tiger Forest Mountain? When are you going?" "I'll go with you. I know the way up Tiger Forest Mountain like the back of my hand." Yin Xiao called Xiaoya back from behind. "Young lady Xiaoya, this is a return gift for the charm you gave me." "An exquisite little sachet." "Thank you so much, young lady Xiao." Bai Jialu clamped the basket in his mouth. "Little Fluffball, let's hurry and go." Yin Xiao watched their retreating figures, and a faint, barely perceptible cold glint flashed in her eyes. The sky had just begun to brighten. Xiaoya and Bai Jialu were both still fast asleep. Bai Jiaxian called out to Bai Xian and his father, who were preparing to leave. Bai Xian turned his head. "You're up quite early, Jiaxian. If you leave now, you'll surely be back late into the night again." "I won't be too late, so you need to look after the White Tiger Hall properly. While I'm away, you'll be the master of the White Tiger Hall. Father, please rest assured I'll protect the White Tiger Hall well." He Zhulong's voice rang out. "The young master is only ever happiest when he's with the clan lord." "Right, lately he seems more interested in little Fluffball." "Young lady little Fluffball, isn't it the young master who's interested in her?" Bai Xian turned his head back. "There are some things only a parent can see through. Jiaxian seems indifferent to everything on the surface, but inside he's actually quite sensitive and delicate. I can sense it whenever little Fluffball comes around. He acts extremely wary on the outside, but underneath he's full of concern. Perhaps little Fluffball will be the one to melt away Jiaxian's sharp defenses." Xiaoya looked at herself in the mirror, astonished. "Yaner, this hairstyle is just too beautiful." "I've also prepared a special lunchbox for you. Don't forget to eat when you're hungry." Hu Yaner looked at Xiaoya, her eyes brimming with concern. "She's just too adorable. How could I ever feel at ease with our young lady like this? Please forgive me for not being able to go with you." It turned out the Mountain Lord Festival had a custom of patrolling the western forest, and Nan Xinhu, representative of the Black Wolf clan, would accompany them. Hu Yaner had to stay behind to look after the White Tiger Palace, so she couldn't go to Tiger Forest Mountain. Hu Yaner looked worried. "Young lady, could you possibly not go?" Nan Xinhu looked at her expression and couldn't help but laugh. "Yan Er, you can't let young lady be disappointed over this. There's really no other way. If you truly can't set your mind at ease, I'll lend the young lady my treasured heirloom. This is our Black Wolf clan's treasure, the Wind Pearl. It can protect your legs and make them stronger. Xiaoya looked somewhat surprised. Something this precious, can it really be lent to me? Of course it can. This is my return gift for the charm you gave me. Bai Jielu and his servant arrived just then. Little Fluffball, good morning. All ready? Hello, I'm Su Li. I'll be attending to you today, young lady. Good morning, Sister Su Li. Nan Xinhu bowed his head, giving careful instructions. Su Li, I'm entrusting the young lady to you. You must take good care of her. Don't worry, my lord. I'll take excellent care of the young lady. Well then, let's set out now. On the way to Tiger Forest Mountain, Su Li turned her head back. Young lady, does your leg really not hurt at all? Thanks to the Wind Pearl marquee Nan gave me, I don't feel any pain at all. It's been so long since the young master last came here. Look how excited he is. Bai Jielu suddenly stopped in his tracks. Little Fluffball, there are so many flowers here. Xiaoya pointed ahead. Look over there. I think this might be that sky blossom. Young master, does this look like a sky blossom to you? But Bai Jielu popped the flower straight into his mouth. This taste, it really is sky blossom. Xiaoya's face lit up with joy. There are more over there. Let's hurry over. Xiaoya carefully dug up a sky blossom. This is wonderful, not damaged at all, completely unlike the one someone found earlier and just ate. But suddenly, from behind a large tree came a low, rumbling sound. Xiaoya turned her head to look. There seems to be someone over there. But looking closely, there was nothing at all. Am I just imagining things? Before long, it was time for lunch. Bai Jielu wore the flower crown Xiaoya had woven for him, looking utterly reluctant. You never mentioned there'd be a punishment like this. Well, who told you to lose at hide-and-seek? It's your turn to be it this time. I'll never get caught. Fine then, I'll count to 1,000 before I come find you. But just then, something seemed off with Su Li, standing before Xiaoya. I feel my stomach's a bit unwell. I can't let this ruin the young lady's very first outing. I'll head back to the White Tiger Hall right away, young lady. Please stay right here. Don't go anywhere at all. A moment later, Su Li transformed into a gray wolf and dashed off swiftly. Young lady, I'll be back soon. Xiaoya watched her retreating figure, astonished. So even without the Wind Pearl, she can still run this fast. We were just playing hide-and-seek with the young master. Now I need to hurry and find him. But suddenly, Xiaoya felt something behind her, and she turned to look. She saw two beasts staring at her intently. The beast opened its mouth wide, baring its sharp fangs. Yin Xiao appeared kind and gentle on the surface, but beneath it hid boundless malice. And Xiaoya, completely unaware, was stepping right into the trap she had carefully laid. Facing the two ferocious wolves before her, Xiaoya's mind raced. If I run that way, the beasts might hurt the young master. I'm carrying the Wind Pearl Marquis Nan gave me today, so I should be able to escape. Xiaoya ran forward as fast as she could. The two ferocious wolves stayed hot on her trail. Xiaoya looked up at a large boulder. If I climb up there, surely they won't be able to follow. Using the Wind Pearl's power, I should be able to climb up. Xiaoya gave it everything she had, and at last managed to scramble atop the boulder. Thank goodness they really can't climb up here. But a moment later, Xiaoya looked puzzled. How strange. They were so fierce just now. Why do they look so timid all of a sudden? But suddenly, Xiaoya felt the ground shake violently. A moment later, she was thrown straight to the ground. This was no boulder at all. It turned out to be a phantom beast. Xiaoya looked at the phantom beast before her and found her body simply couldn't move at all. But the phantom beast suddenly transformed into a small black bird. It's shape-shifting? Could it be a bird-type beastkin? No, wait, the shape it's taking looks just like my own transformed form. Suddenly, its body began to slowly change again. This time, it transformed into a black tiger. It ran up to Xiaoya and stuck out its tongue. A moment later, it rolled around on the ground. Xiaoya understood its meaning. You mean you won't hurt me, right? Unable to speak, the little tiger simply sat there, shaking its head over and over. As for the two vicious wolves from before, they'd already slunk away quietly the moment it appeared. Xiaoya looked at the black tiger before her. Thank you for saving me. A trace of doubt crossed her mind. Could this be the very thing I once felt watching me? But how could it possibly copy our shapes like this? Could it be that because it's a phantom beast, it has this kind of special ability? It turned out that 8 years ago, the Black Tortoise tribe of the North had broken an ancient vow, unleashing monsters from a corrupted land, and those monsters were now known as phantom beasts. Xuan Luozi, chieftain of the Black Tortoise tribe, had driven the phantom beasts as his vanguard, launching an assault on the empire that plunged the entire continent into chaos. The empire, naturally, could not simply sit and await death, and had rallied warriors from every tribe to declare war on the North. At that time, even the eldest son of the Vermilion Bird clan, His Highness Hua Ying, had fallen in battle, and the clan lord of the White Tiger had once charged into that very war under the guise of Shadow. As a child, I only ever saw them in storybooks. This is the first time I've laid eyes on one myself. People say phantom beasts are extremely dangerous, but you don't seem the least bit wicked. Hello there, my name is Xiao Ya. Why are you here? If you stay in this place, you'll be in real trouble. Because others might mistake you for a wicked phantom beast and hurt you because of it. Looking at the phantom beast before her, Xiao Ya felt a deep kinship with that feeling of being misunderstood. But the phantom beast used its claw to write characters on the ground. Xiao Ya looked somewhat astonished. You can even write? Is your name Shui Yao? Sui Yao crouched there, nodding to confirm it. I understand now. It's a pleasure to meet you, Shui Yao. Xiao Ya looked up at the sky. What should I do now? I clearly promised I'd be back before sunset. Elsewhere in the White Tiger Hall, Yin Xiao was greeting Bai Jiaxian before her. Brother Jiaxian, it's been a while. Have you been well? It's been a while, Shihi. Brother Jiaxian, my name isn't Shihi, it's Xiao. Haha, my apologies, I must have mixed it up. If someone misunderstood, they might think you were eyeing the West Wing. Without the slightest hesitation, Bai Jiaxian turned and walked away. Bai Jiaxian held his teacup, yet his mind remained uneasy. I still can't forget that child's hurt expression. Perhaps I should be gentler with her. Come to think of it, apart from that one walk before, I haven't seen her since. And I haven't seen her at all today either. Thinking of this, he suddenly stood up. Could it be that because of what I said, she's left the White Tiger Hall? The servant hurried after Bai Jiaxian. Young master, why did you suddenly become like this? I suddenly can't find that girl. Where is she? You mean young lady little fluffball? She's usually out on her walk by this time. That really is a bit strange. Now that you mention it, that really is strange. I haven't seen her at all today, not this morning, not this afternoon. In the room, Hu Yenner looked at them, surprised. Second young master, why have you come here? If you're looking for the young lady, she went on an outing to Tiger Forest Mountain today and hasn't come back yet. That place isn't dangerous, and besides, both the young master and Su Li are with her. But when they turned around, they found Su Li there, wearing a look of distress. Su Li, why are you here? My stomach hurt. Young lady little fluffball is with the young master, so I came back on my own for a moment. Bai Jiaxian looked displeased. What? You dared come back alone? He turned and headed outside. I have to go fetch them myself. But when they reached the gate, they saw an unexpected sight. Isn't that the young master? Why is he coming down the mountain alone? Brother, why are you out this late at night? Have you seen little Fluffball? She clearly went up the mountain with you. Bai Jelu realized something was wrong. We were playing hide and seek. I hid and hid until I fell asleep. But when I woke up, both Su Li and little Fluffball were gone, and even the wind pearl was missing. At the time, I thought she'd already gone home. You fool, so you came back by yourself first? Bai Jiaxian flew into a rage. Do you even realize what you've done wrong? And you still have the nerve to cry? Deep in the night on Tiger Forest Mountain, the servant beside him kept trying to comfort him. The young lady will surely be safe. The beasts on Tiger Forest Mountain are all gentle. Perhaps she simply lost her way. Bai Jiaxian fell into thought. I can't catch little Fluffball's scent at all. This is so strange. It's as if something is preventing me from finding her. Suddenly, Bai Jiaxian transformed into a massive white tiger. From here on, I must go on alone. The rest of you head back first. Meanwhile, Xiao Ya was curled up beneath a tree root. The young master will surely come looking for me, but this mountain is so vast he won't find me easily. A moment later, she sneezed from the cold. The mountains at night really are far too cold. A sachet fell to the ground. Xiao Ya picked it up. This is the sachet young lady Yin Xiao gave me. Could it be? She looked at the little tiger beside her. Are you cold too? Come here, let me hold you. A moment later, she pulled the little tiger straight into her arms. Even so, Xiao Ya still shivered uncontrollably from the cold. The little tiger looked at Xiaoya's face as if it had thought of something. A moment later, it wriggled out of her arms and dashed off to one side. Before long, it came back holding 2 leaves in its mouth. Then it draped the leaves over Xiaoya, patting them smooth. Were you worried I'd get cold, so you went to pick these for me? You're just too kind. Thank goodness you're here. If I were all alone, I'd probably be scared to death. What should I do now? I promised I'd be back before sunset. And I still haven't managed to bring even a single flower back for the second young master. But suddenly an unusual sound rang out beside her. The little tiger let out a wary growl at that very moment. A streak of white light sliced through the darkness, instantly shattering an invisible barrier. Xiaoya was so frightened she couldn't move at all. She didn't know if this would repeat like that last time. Fear immediately gripped her mind. But when she lifted her eyes to look, a familiar figure suddenly appeared. Bai Jiaxian pulled her tightly into his embrace, refusing to let go for the longest time. A face that seemed so cold, speaking words just as icy. After Xiaoya went missing, he had been the one most anxious of all. Held in Bai Jiaxian's arms, Xiaoya didn't know what to do. What on earth is wrong with the second young master? What should I do in this situation? The little black tiger watched the scene quietly beside them, a glint seeming to flicker in its eyes as well. Second young master, I'm sorry for making you worry. Bai Jiaxian took hold of her hand, about to scold her. But a moment later, he noticed her small hand had gone ice cold. That's right. I really was worried, Xiaoya. You got lost alone on the mountain while I ran around like a fool. I was afraid I wouldn't find you. I'm sorry, Xiaoya, I came too late. Bai Jiaxian took off his outer robe, gently draping it over Xiaoya. On the way home, he carried Xiaoya on his back, refusing to set her down. Young master, I really am fine. The road is too dark, I'm afraid you might trip. Xiaoya rested gently against Bai Jiaxian's shoulder. The second young master's shoulder is so warm, just like Lord Sion's. I meant to find you quickly, but it took some time. There was a strange barrier around where you were, so I had to break through it. Bai Jiaxian looked down. Come to think of it, you've been following us this whole time, haven't you? The little black tiger also looked furious, biting at the hem of Bai Jiaxian's robe. Could this little thing have set up that barrier? Xiaoya looked anxious. Second young master, this little one isn't a bad creature. Beasts on Tiger Forest Mountain attacked me, and it was the one who saved me. Bai Jiaxian suddenly fell silent, which made Xiaoya feel uneasy. Could he be angry? Bai Jiaxian suddenly turned his head. Then were you bitten or hurt anywhere? No, I'm fine. Nan Xinhu lent me the wind pearl, that's how I managed to escape. Bai Jiaxian let out a sigh of relief. I see. You must have been terrified. Xiaoya looked at Bai Jiaxian, suddenly wide-eyed. His sleeve had been torn to shreds, surely injured while searching for her. Bai Jiaxian turned his head. About this little thing following us the whole time. If what you say is true, then it doesn't seem to be anything malicious. Let's just leave it be for now. And about those trash stones I mentioned before, I didn't mean your charm. You came last time to give me some new charms, didn't you? I've kept the one you gave me before very carefully, and now it even has a twin. Really? I thought you'd thrown it away. Why would I throw it away? At the time, I didn't know it was a charm you made because honestly, no one told me at all. Bai Jiaxian looked regretful. I'm sorry, honestly, what I said earlier was all just an excuse. You just arrived in this unfamiliar place, you must have felt so out of place, yet I kept treating you so coldly. I've been ignoring your sincerity this whole time, and even said things that hurt you. All of this is my fault. Xiaoya, would you be willing to forgive me? Xiaoya peeked her head out, her face full of smiles. Yesterday I was a little bit sad, but now I'm completely fine, really. And today you even ran all the way to save me like this. Thank you so much, second young master. Bai Jiaxian let out a faint smile. You're right. It seems I'll need to come around here more often from now on. Xiaoya, from now on, could you stop calling me young master? Could you call me brother instead? Opening the great doors of the White Tiger Hall, Bai Jiaxian looked surprised. Bai Xian looked at him with worry, then relief washing over his face. Jiaxian, you did wonderfully. While I was away, you protected the White Tiger Hall so thoroughly. She must be quite heavy, let me carry her back to her room. Feeling Xiaoya's warmth, Bai Jiaxian's face softened into a smile. No need, father, I'll carry her back to her room myself. Bai Xian looked utterly astonished. He couldn't help but chuckle quietly to himself. It seems in the short time I was away, the two of them have grown quite close. But suddenly he spotted the little black tiger on the ground. You little thing, why are you here? In one room, Yin Xiao secretly watched the whole scene. She isn't even a tiger. What on earth is so special about her? Tigers from every other clan are either too fierce or have no interest at all in being adopted. I thought the West Wing was surely mine. I never imagined that shabby little brat would become my rival. If Lord Sion truly decides to adopt her, what should I do? But suddenly a man appeared from the shadows, kneeling before Yin Xiao. Things didn't go according to plan, did they, young lady? Yin Xiao quickly shut the door. Didn't you say that sachet would have a special effect? I did exactly as you said, so why did things turn out even worse? It seems an unexpected variable has emerged. Yin Xiao looked anxious. Everyone in the White Tiger Hall is fussing over that child now. At this rate, she's sure to be adopted by the White Tiger clan. The man gave a sinister smile. No need to worry too much, for I know that child's weakness. In the room, Hu Yaner and Nan Xinhu both breathed sighs of relief. It's good that the young lady is safe. We can finally rest easy. Xiaoya looked at the two of them. I'm sorry for making everyone worry. But suddenly Xiaoya noticed someone outside the window. Bai Jielu hid outside, not daring to come in. Little Fluffball, I wasn't spying. I was just curious whether you were all right after waking up. I'm sorry, I was truly so foolish I couldn't even protect you. Overwhelmed with guilt, he transformed into a small tiger, about to leave. But Xiaoya called out to him from behind. Young master, please don't cry anymore. I'm perfectly fine right here. Bai Jiaxian's voice rang out. Leave him be, Xiaoya. He needs a proper lesson taught to him. Looking at the sky blossom before him, Bai Jiaxian voiced his confusion. Xiaoya, did you go up Tiger Forest Mountain just to find this for me? Second young master, I heard you like sky blossoms, so I wanted to give you something you'd like. Thank you, Xiaoya, but that was far too reckless. Besides, we already agreed on something yesterday. When you call me, stop calling me young master, use a different term instead. A trace of shyness crossed Xiaoya's face. Yes, sir. But suddenly Bai Jielu popped out of nowhere. Why does he get to be little Fluffball's brother? Bai Jielu rolled and thrashed on the ground. I want to be called brother too. Let me be your brother as well, little Fluffball. No way, you couldn't even protect Xiaoya. What kind of brother would that make you? You're truly a disgrace to tigers. This is just so humiliating. Get up right now. Xiaoya burst out laughing beside them. Brother, I finally understand. Those words you said before weren't because you hated me. Bai Jielu chimed in. Brother was never a bad tiger to begin with. He just likes saying things that make people sad. Xiaoya looked at Bai Jiaxian puzzled. Where did that little one who protected me yesterday go? That thing followed us the whole time, but at some point afterward it disappeared without us noticing. Xiaoya looked somewhat disappointed. It seems it went back after all. Perhaps that's actually the better outcome. If it were discovered, it might be hurt for being an outsider. Bai Jiaxian gently consoled her. That's probably it. About us going up Tiger Forest Mountain yesterday, does anyone else know? Something about this doesn't add up. Beasts that are normally gentle suddenly turned savage, and when I tried to find you, your scent was strangely scattered everywhere. It's as if something was concealing your whereabouts. Has anyone given you anything suspicious lately? Xiaoya sat alone quietly on the steps. Should I tell brother in the end? That sachet, it seems it was the very thing that drove the beasts wild and masked my scent. Yin Xiao surely wanted to move into the West Wing. She must hate me now. Just then, Along walked up to Xiaoya. Xiaoya, are you all right? I heard you nearly ran into serious trouble yesterday. That foolish tiger Bai Jielu, how dare he abandon you alone on the mountain? Xiaoya smiled. You're right, he must be a bad person. I should stay away from him from now on. The new young lady is about to arrive soon anyway, and since I'm about to leave, I need to clear out the room before then. Along listened to Xiaoya's words, thoroughly confused. You're saying you're about to leave? Then could you come with me instead? She grabbed Xiaoya's hand. You're so small and fair, and not even a tiger. You don't seem like a bad kid at all. As long as I say you're my friend, everyone will welcome you. Our brown tiger clan's home has a huge lake. You could swim and fish there with me. I'll always be by your side. I won't let you get lost. There'll be foolish tigers like Bai Jielu too, but I'll protect you. I won't let anyone bully you. So please, come home with me. Along's enthusiasm left Xiaoya somewhat moved. Thank you, young lady Along. If I go with you, can I still come visit the White Tiger Palace often afterward? Just then a palanquin stopped before them. Isn't that He Shahui of the Black Tiger clan? But she looked far from happy. She had feelings for young Master Jiaxian, always saying she wanted to marry him, but if she registered with the White Tiger clan, she'd become his sister instead. So she must have been quite upset. This was also exactly why Yin Xiao felt so confident. Since neither I nor He Shahui want to join the White Tiger clan, she assumed the West Wing was certainly hers. Along beside her kept chattering away, but Xiaoya suddenly spotted a small black tail. Isn't that the little one from yesterday? Xiaoya quickly gave chase. Young lady Along, I have something to attend to. Let's talk more another day. Xiaoya finally caught up with the little black tiger. Shui Yao, I knew it was you. Shui Yao looked just as delighted to see Xiaoya. Xiaoya looked somewhat worried. This place is very dangerous. Hurry back to the mountain. It wouldn't be good if someone saw you. But just then, Baixian suddenly appeared. Xiaoya, it seems you've made a new friend. Oh no, Lord Xian has spotted him. What if he mistakes Shui Yao for a wicked demon? A phantom beast said to be unmatched in savagery and legend, had transformed into a small black tiger, clinging close by Xiaoya's side. But Xiaoya worried it might be seen as an outsider and harmed because of it. Xiaoya looked at Baixian anxiously. Lord Xian, he isn't a bad creature. Don't worry, little fluffball. I'd never intend to harm your friend. Besides, I picked him up myself too. It's been about 7 years now, I think. So he was also stolen by Lord Xian, just like me? Ha, pretty much. Why do you keep glancing around like that? It wouldn't be good if someone overheard. Lord Xian might get his fur plucked like a stray cat. Baixian looked somewhat flustered. Right. You'll help me keep this secret, won't you? I absolutely won't tell anyone. Baixian looked at Xiaoya deep in thought. Suddenly, he scooped her up into his arms. Ugh, little fluffball, have you gotten heavier lately? Lord Xian, put me down quickly. I want to get down. Just teasing, little fluffball. You're as light as a feather. I'm even worried a strong gust of wind might blow you away, so I hope you can put on a little weight. Xiaoya's face flushed red. If I get too plump, that won't do at all. Baixian held Xiaoya close in his arms. I'll fatten you up nice and round, then bring you back. You little thing, hide well before we return, and don't make a sound. Jiaxian told me everything. You must have been so terrified this time, and yet you still bravely came back. Xiaoya lowered her head. Actually, it was only thanks to young Master Jiaxian carrying me on his back that I managed to make it back at all. Thank you so much, Lord Xian, and I'm sorry for causing you so much unnecessary worry. You don't need to apologize. I'm the one who should apologize. I brought you here on a whim, and yet I couldn't even protect you properly. That's not true at all. The day I arrived at the White Tiger Palace, even the day I was sick, you protected me every time. Haha, well, by that logic, you've also protected the White Tiger Palace from a terrifying gang of ghosts. It wasn't just me. There was also that old fox Julong, and Jiaxian and Jialu, and many others too. Little Fluffball, thank you for watching over the White Tiger Hall. After the meal, Xiaoya walked alone down the corridor. Since young lady Along and young lady Satu don't want to be adopted, young lady Xiao is very likely to join the White Tiger clan. If the White Tiger clan finds out what young lady Xiao did, it could cause a lot of trouble. Xiaoya couldn't help but grip the hem of her robe tightly. Maybe I just need to stay quiet. I'll be leaving soon anyway. Yin Xiao's voice suddenly sounded behind Xiaoya. Young lady Xiaoya, I was just about to go looking for you, and here you are. Young lady Xiao, I have something to say to you too about that sachet you gave me. Haha, young lady Xiaoya really is sharp. I underestimated you. Do you truly mean to hurt me? That's right. Is that a problem? You're the criminal who stole my life from me? Don't tell me you intend to steal my position too? Yin Xiao leaned in to whisper in Xiaoya's ear, leaving her looking terrified. How do you even know all this? If you still refuse to leave, I'll let everyone know you're actually a thief. So before that happens, hurry up and disappear on your own. If the people of the White Tiger Hall discover your true identity, everyone will turn their backs on you overnight, just like those at the Vermilion Bird Clan. Then could I at least say goodbye to Lord Xian? Just one last word? Enough nonsense. This is nothing but a trick to cling on and steal my position. I can't stand someone like you staying in the West Wing for even one more day. Sneak away quietly tonight, don't tell anyone. If you're still here tomorrow, I'll expose your secret to everyone. In her room, Xiaoya had already prepared a change of clothes. She carefully set down the tiger cub plushie Baixian had given her. She'd once thought she could at least leave with a proper farewell, yet now she had to leave this place like a fugitive. Outside the window, the bushes rustled with a faint sound. It was Zui Yao, and the moment he saw Xiaoya, his face lit up with joy. So Zui Yao came to see me, but I have to leave now. Qi Yao made a low rumbling sound from his mouth. Are you saying you want to come with me? Thank you, Zui Yao. With you by my side, I don't think I'll feel so alone anymore. Looking at the White Tiger Hall she was about to leave behind, 100 emotions swirled in Xiaoya's heart. Lord Xian, thank you for everything you've done for me. But just then she caught a familiar scent. It was the scent of the sachet Yin Xiao had once given her. Turning to look, the scent was wafting from 2 palanquins. Those 2 palanquins belonged to Along and Sahui. Come to think of it, tomorrow was exactly the day the Mountain Lord Festival would officially begin. Xiaoya stepped forward and opened the palanquin door, and sure enough, found inside the very same kind of sachet Yin Xiao had given her. Along and Sahui had no interest at all in the West Wing, so why would Yin Xiao still want to harm them? Xiaoya's heart was torn. I don't want anyone to know I was once that bad child. But remembering Bai Xian's gentle face and caring words, determination lit up in Xiaoya's eyes. Compared to all that, I hate far more seeing an innocent person come to harm. Zui Yao, you're more powerful than all those fierce beasts on the mountain, aren't you? So can you help me? Zui Yao's expression turned resolute, making a low rumbling sound to show his agreement. In the study, Bai Jiaxian held a book in his hands, yet couldn't take in a single word. His mind kept returning to what had happened that day. Xiaoya, about going up Tiger Forest Mountain yesterday, does anyone else know besides us? At the time, Xiaoya had answered that she wasn't sure. But judging by her expression, it seemed she already knew who was behind such a dangerous act. A kind-hearted child who clearly knew the truth yet couldn't bring herself to say it. Then I'll just have to go find them and deal with it myself. That's what a proper brother should do. That day, only Xiaoya's group had gone to Tiger Forest Mountain. Yet that object had driven the beasts into a frenzied rage, while also erasing Xiaoya's scent entirely. Under their father's guidance, everyone called her Little Fluffball, doting on Xiaoya without end. So now, whoever in the White Tiger Hall wished most for Xiaoya to vanish, it could only be... A servant entered, cutting off his train of thought. Young master, this stone has just finished firing. Carved upon the stone was Xiaoya's very face. Bai Jiaxian looked at the freshly made stone, a smile creeping across his face. I've spent the whole day investigating the culprit behind this, so I haven't seen Xiaoya at all today. It seems this makes for a perfect excuse. Xiaoya, are you asleep? It's Jiaxian. Bai Jiaxian knocked for a long while, but there was no sound at all from inside. Unable to help himself, he pushed the door open and stepped in. This late at night, Xiaoya couldn't possibly not be in her room. A bad feeling rose within him. Could she have vanished again? Bai Jiaxian forcefully pushed open another door. Yin Xiao turned her head. Brother Jiaxian, why have you come here so late at night? Bai Jiaxian charged straight up to her. Where is Xiaoya? Don't think I don't know. This was all you're doing. Why would you go looking for that child in my room? I don't know what she told you, but I truly had no idea about any of this. That's right. You can't treat our young lady this way just based on the words of that lowly girl. How dare you call her lowly? Xiaoya is my father's guest, and moreover, she's my... But Bai Jiaxian's words suddenly halted, as if he hadn't yet decided what to call Xiaoya. Hearing the commotion in the room, the servants nearby also hurried over. Bai Xian arrived at the scene as well. You two, step aside and let me through. It's already bedtime. Why is there such a commotion? Father, Xiaoya seems to have vanished. I've searched everywhere and can't find her scent at all. I suspect Yin Xiao has done something to Xiaoya. Bai Xian froze on the spot, momentarily at a loss for what to do. At that moment, Along burst in. You're saying Xiaoya's gone missing? She promised to come with me. Bai Jiaxian looked somewhat surprised by her words. Come with you? Where were you two planning to go? Xiaoya told me the West Wing was about to get a new owner, that she couldn't stay here any longer, so she agreed to come home with me. Xiaoya told you all that? In my eyes, it's clear someone is targeting Xiaoya, driving the beasts in the forest into a rage. Without evidence, don't go around making wild accusations. If we're going to suspect anyone, everyone has a part in it. Both Along and Sahui came here for the Mountain Lord Festival, since the candidate for the West Wing hasn't been decided yet. The beasts on Tiger Forest Mountain turned extremely savage. Could it be that this child isn't capable of lying? Just then, a servant rushed in. Clan Lord? Please come quickly, young lady little fluffball, is being chased by beasts and they're raging like thunder. Bai Xian immediately dashed toward the door. And Xiaoya, seeing Bai Xian, shouted loudly, Lord Xian, run! After being threatened by Yin Xiao, Xiaoya had originally planned to leave quietly, all alone. But she'd accidentally discovered the sachet hidden inside the palanquin, the very kind of sachet that sent the beasts of Tiger Forest Mountain into a raging fury. In the urgency of the moment, she'd decided to risk everything to expose this scheme. Xiaoya gripped tightly onto the fur of Xue Yao, now transformed into a black wolf. Perfect. These beasts have already caught the scent of the sachet and are following me exactly as planned. When I was very young, I once wept bitterly after being cast out of the household because a servant had embezzled our family's wealth. After learning the truth of it, I came to understand that distinguishing right from wrong and exposing wrongdoing was never a bad thing. As a direct descendant of the Vermilion Bird clan, protecting the people of the South is your duty, and harming others is something that cannot be forgiven. Even though father abandoned me, I know he was only speaking the truth back then, and Lord Xian would surely want me to do the same. In Xiaoya's heart, Bai Xian was a man of broad and generous spirit, always sheltering and caring for others. Riding Xue Yao, Xiaoya finally made it to the White Tiger Hall. Bai Xian had already spotted Xiaoya riding on Xue Yao's back. Xiaoya's goal was simply to let everyone witness how that sachet drove the beasts into a frenzy. Now that I've achieved my goal, what should I do next? Lord Xian, run quickly. But Bai Xian's pace suddenly quickened. A moment later, he stood directly before Xiaoya, facing the entire pack of beasts alone. Facing the pack before him, Bai Xian bellowed furiously, All of you back off! The pack, so ferocious and fierce just moments ago, instantly turned into a group of docile puppies. Bai Xian sheathed his sword, and the beasts retreated one after another. Atop Xue Yao's back, Xiaoya let out a heavy sigh of relief. Bai Xian walked up to Xiaoya and pulled her into a tight embrace immediately. You little puffball refusing to sleep peacefully, what were you doing running to such a dangerous place? Right then, Xiaoya finally resolved to speak the truth. She looked at Yin Xiao before her. It's this sachet. When I carried this sachet into Tiger Forest Mountain that day, the beasts in the mountain grew restless and chased after me. Bai Jielu chimed in agreement. That's right, this is the very sachet Yin Xiao gave little Fluffball before. And I also discovered that the other young ladies' palanquins were giving off the exact same scent. I was worried something dangerous would happen tomorrow, so I had to warn everyone. Yin Xiao cut Xiaoya off. All of this is nothing but lies. That brat already stole someone else's place back in the southern lands. She's a criminal who stole from others and fled, and you're going to believe her words? The Vermilion Bird clan won't speak of this, but no one within the clan is unaware of it. She stole the identity of the Vermilion Bird's youngest daughter, and once exposed, was cast out of the clan. And now she wants to frame me for no reason, hoping to seize the West Wing through this. I knew all along that if I spoke the truth, young Lady Xiao would surely expose my secret to everyone. But if I turned a blind eye to this, that would be an even greater pain to bear. I couldn't pretend not to know what would happen tomorrow. Lord Xian, this is the sachet found inside young Lady Along and young Lady Sehui's palanquins. The scent is identical to the one young Lady Xiao gave me. But Bai Xian looked puzzled. Little Fluffball, did you really smell something here? Yin Xiao laughed triumphantly. Even standing this close, I can't smell anything at all, so she really is a liar. How foolish, that sachet doesn't give off any scent whatsoever. Bai Xian handed the sachet to Zhulong. Take this to Priestess Silo for examination immediately. If anyone could uncover something, it would surely be Priestess Silo of the White Tiger Hall. Yin Xiao grew somewhat flustered at this moment. This absolutely cannot be allowed to happen. I must become a direct member of the White Tiger clan. If I fail, they'll surely call me worthless. Yin Xiao's servant tried to defend her. Clan Lord, how can you listen to just one side of that child's story? Even if our young lady truly did threaten that child, how can you punish us of the Silver Tiger clan for the sake of a child of unclear origin who's nothing at all? Bai Xian turned his head to look at them. Who said this child is nothing at all? She is my own daughter, brought here by my own hand. We're aware of that too. We know she's the clan lord's honored guest, but even so... Bai Xian reached his hand toward Xiaoya. He clasped her small hand tightly. It seems you still don't understand what I mean. Little Fluffball is my daughter. Xiaoya looked up at the towering Bai Xian, tears already glistening faintly in her eyes. In the room, Bai Jiaxian settled Xiaoya down to sit. Let's wait here a while. This matter will need a little more time to settle. Thank you, young master. Hearing Xiaoya's form of address, Bai Jiaxian looked somewhat unhappy. Yesterday she called me brother, and today she's back to calling me young master. Xiaoya noticed his mood. Are you unhappy because of me? The brown tiger told me everything yesterday. So you were planning to leave the white tiger hall. Why would you want to just walk away so easily? Is it because I once said harsh words to you wasn't good enough to you? That's not it, young master. Look, you called yourself young master again. Tears welled up in Bai Jiaxian's eyes. Xiaoya, I'm truly so sorry. Could you please not leave? Stay here. Live with us at the White Tiger Hall. Xiaoya's hand clenched tightly at the hem of her dress. But if I keep staying here, it might make young lady Xiao feel uncomfortable. But just then, the great door outside was suddenly pushed open. Little fluffball, so you intended to abandon us and leave all on your own like this? Yin Xiao of the Silver Tiger clan had gone ahead and exposed Xiaoya's origins in front of everyone. But the outcome she had anticipated never came to pass. From the very moment Xiaoya had stepped into the White Tiger Hall, Bai Xian had already come to see her as his own child. This left him aching with tenderness beyond measure. And upon hearing Xiaoya and Bai Jiaxian speak of her leaving, he grew all the more anxious. Bai Xian stood before Xiaoya. Little fluffball, do you truly intend to leave? Of course Xiaoya didn't want to leave, but she always felt she had no other choice. But Bai Xian's expression turned stern. I won't allow it. It was hard enough for me to steal you away in the first place, so you can't change your mind and run off now. But back then, you clearly said it was only for now. Bai Xian hastily denied it. Did I say that? I never said any such thing. But in his heart he recalled when she'd first arrived, he really had said something like that. Don't worry, just stay in this room for now. To think I actually said something like that back then, I really am a foolish tiger. Bai Xian knelt on one knee before Xiaoya. I'm sorry, little fluffball, this is all my fault. This made Xiaoya jump up in a panic. Lord Xian, why are you kneeling? Little fluffball, I promise you I will never let you feel uneasy again. I will become a better adult. So it's not just for now anymore. From this day forward, please stay here forever and live with us. But Xiaoya's words once again left Bai Xian utterly confused. Are you very disappointed in me? Just as young lady Xiao said, I'm a wicked child who stole something that didn't belong to me. Even if you're disappointed in me, that would be only right. How could I ever be disappointed in you? I'm only disappointed in myself. Please forgive me for failing to understand the anxiety weighing on your heart. Xiaoya never expected that Bai Xian hadn't given those matters a single thought at all. It's strange to say this, Lord Xian, but you truly haven't done anything wrong at all. I am the one who's wrong, because it was I who stole someone else's life. They say young lady Lily lost both her parents since childhood because of me. That young lady Lily's frailty and illness are all because of me. Every hardship the clan lord and the young masters have suffered, it's all been caused by my own hand. Bai Xian pulled Xiaoya into his arms. How could any of that be your fault? His expression was filled with fury. Those people are truly a bunch of damned fools. From that very first encounter, when the assassin had prepared to strike little Fluffball down, to the moment Huyaner discovered her body covered in scars while bathing her, little Fluffball, you're only 9 years old and already far thinner and smaller than children your age. You're still just a child who needs to be protected. You've done nothing wrong at all. It was never you who was wrong, it was them. Bai Xian's tolerance and understanding broke through the dam holding back Xiaoya's tears. Lord Xian, why would you stand on my side? No one has ever listened to what I had to say, not once, until now. Because the world you've lived in all this time was wrong to begin with. From now on, I will show you what the right world looks like. Little Fluffball, from this day forward, be my daughter. Ever since returning, a smile had never left Bai Xian's face. He Zhulong looked somewhat exasperated. Well now, so you really went through with it after all. Perhaps from the very moment I brought her into the White Tiger Hall, all of this was destined to happen. I once wondered if I had a daughter, would this be what it felt like? She really cried her heart out earlier, saying she wasn't a tiger, that she had no sharp fangs or sturdy legs. But it's perfectly normal for a bird not to have those things. Still, it seems you managed to soothe her in the end. I suppose you could say I soothed her. I told her I didn't have wings either, that my temper was stubborn, and that I wasn't exactly adorable to look at. So I asked her, was it that she didn't want a father like me? Though she cried her heart out, in the end, things were resolved. Baixian suddenly turned to look at He Julong beside him. How strange! You didn't object at all this time. He Julong's emotions suddenly grew hard to control. If little Fluffball had been left to leave, she might have gotten hurt. I knew it would turn out this way. So you too think little Fluffball is stronger than those Tiger Clan young ladies? Because Sister Silo said the power contained within that sachet is dark magic from the north. Thinking of this, Baixian's expression turned grave. Now, how should we deal with that child from the Silver Tiger Clan in the end? Being adopted by the White Tiger Clan would grant her the qualification to become a candidate bride for the prince. Is that truly what that child wants? Julong, I've been thinking seriously about this matter all along. Those young children fighting over the position of direct heir all because of some custom about a prince's bride, I find something rather strange about it. But Clan Lord, you know that position carries the responsibilities of a direct heir. Baixian waved his hand. What I mean is, there's no need to burden these children with something like this. Though the responsibilities of a direct heir are important, they're still just children. As long as they run around with bright, radiant smiles, they're already shining enough. So from now on, I'm going to abolish this strange rule. Even if we don't raise a bride for the prince, our clan won't collapse because of it. Most importantly, even if only for little Fluffball's sake, I must set this right. Not only that, no one else could sense the scent of that sachet at all, so why was little Fluffball the only one who could smell it? Sister Silo once told me this child's spirit core seems different from others. Though it's not yet complete, one can sense a special kind of power within it. Little Fluffball's spirit core might truly be extraordinary. An ordinary bird's spirit core couldn't possibly be so special. Early the next morning, Hu Yaner and Nan Xinhu had already arrived at Xiaoya's room bright and early. Young lady, wonderful news. Today I'll be officially appointed as your guard. So, we'll be able to continue serving you, young lady. Once the Mountain Lord Festival ends, the Clan Lord will arrange excellent tutors for you. Xiaoya looked astonished, her mouth falling open. So none of this was a dream after all. Have I really become part of a family with Lord Xian? Baixian had finally resolved to make Xiaoya his daughter. Though this was the very outcome Xiaoya had long yearned for, toward the heartless father who had once cast her aside, Xiaoya still carried within her a faint, lingering attachment. Hu Yaner was attending to Xiaoya as she drank her tea. But suddenly someone burst through the door. Along rushed in hastily. Little Fluffball, have you really decided to live at the White Tiger Hall? At the same time, the two Bai brothers came hurrying in as well. Little Fluffball, did you sleep well last night? Hu Yaner looked at Along before her. Give it up. From now on, little Fluffball will live with us here at the White Tiger Hall. Along rushed forward and grabbed Xiaoya's hand. No, you promised you'd come home with me. Bai Jialu stormed over furiously. You brown tiger, how dare you try to lure little Fluffball away? Little Fluffball is going to be my little sister, not the sister of a foolish tiger like you. But little Fluffball is already 9 years old. She just looks small. I bet her birthday actually comes before yours. These words left Along standing there stunned. Little Fluffball, that can't be true. He's lying, isn't he? Heh heh, hurry up and call little Fluffball big sister. And you smelly tiger, have to call me big brother too. Along couldn't believe it at all. This is simply too absurd. Bai Jiaxian walked up to Xiaoya. Xiaoya, I hear you'll be starting lessons soon. If there's anything you don't understand or can't figure out, come find me. Yes, I understand, big brother brother. Haha, not big brother brother, just call me big brother Xiaoya. Yes, big brother. Bai Jialu hurried over. Me too, I'm little Fluffball's big brother now too. Hurry and call me that. Xiaoya looked at Bai Jialu and laughed. Yes, big brother. That single word nearly made Bai Jialu so happy he almost reverted to his true form. But a moment later, he seemed to remember something. What were we even here for in the end? Bai Jiaxian looked somewhat exasperated with his little brother. Truly a foolish tiger. Xiaoya, come with us to pay respects to father. Bai Xian looked at the children before him, his expression brimming with joy. Lord Xian wishing you a wonderful day. So can we go play ball now? No, what if Xiaoya gets hurt playing ball? Priestess Silo still needs to check her health too. He Julong offered a well-meaning reminder from behind them. Young masters and young lady, please be careful on your way. Bai Xian rested his chin on his hand. So this is what it feels like to have a daughter. Having a daughter really is different. He Zhilong held a stack of documents, brow furrowed. Thanks to you, I haven't had a single day of rest, buried in work nonstop. I gave you a bit of work to do. How did that become my fault? He Zhilong looked at Bai Xian again and laughed. Clan Lord, for a daughter, young lady little fluffball still seems a bit unused to being around you. Bai Xian didn't grasp his meaning. Are you saying little fluffball isn't comfortable around me? But just now she called you Lord Xian, not father, which shows she still hasn't quite adjusted. Bai Xian recalled the scene from earlier. That's true, Xiaoya still calls me Lord Xian, but when she calls the young master's brother, isn't that quite natural? Perhaps she just needs more time to adjust. But He Zhilong chose this very moment to twist the knife further. Even our adorable little fluffball knows the truth now. With a face like yours and you still want to be called father? Bai Xian sent the pile of documents scattering across the floor. Furious, he stormed over to the window. Are you really going to throw a tantrum like a child, scattering these documents everywhere like this? But the documents on the ground pulled Bai Xian into deep thought. This person had gone to great lengths to lure these children into a trap. Even though that Silver Tiger Clan child had provided information, they still hadn't found the true mastermind. Why on earth would this person do such a thing? Could it be that woman? He Zhilong picked the documents up off the floor. Right, Clan Lord, shouldn't you inform Lady Qinghe about this matter? After all, she is the birth mother of the young masters. If Xiaoya has become Lord Xian's daughter, then naturally she's also become Lady Qinghe's youngest daughter. But He Zhilong's words left Bai Xian sinking into silence. In the ritual hall of the White Tiger Hall, incense smoke curled through the air. Bai Silo looked at Xiaoya. It seems you've been taking the medicine I sent right on schedule. Your spirit core has improved a great deal. In her mind, Bai Silo thought, things seem to be improving now, but there's no need to rush. Looking at the innocently adorable Xiaoya before her, she couldn't help but offer words of comfort. You greedy little bird, just keep taking my medicine and you'll grow up healthy and strong. Really, Priestess Silo? I'll definitely take my medicine on time. But Bai Silo suddenly clapped a hand over her mouth. This left Xiaoya somewhat worried. Priestess Silo, what's wrong? From now on, call me Auntie. Since you're already Bai Xian's daughter, that naturally makes you my niece too. Don't tell me you only intend to treat that scoundrel Bai Xian as family. Priestess Silo, that's not it at all. Absolutely not, Auntie. Haha, that sounds nice. You may go now. In the courtyard of the White Tiger Hall, Xiaoya sat on the grass, deep in thought. Changing how I address everyone is really so hard, but I need to adjust quickly. She picked up a small pebble and began drawing on the grass. This is Auntie Silo. This is Big Brother Jiaxian. But when she thought of father, Xiaoya hesitated, unable to decide. Can I really call him father? But just then a claw poked out. Ugh, Xueyao, you little thing. Why do you always pop out so suddenly like this? But Xueyao used his claw to draw a circle on the ground. Xiaoya looked at the circle, puzzled. Xueyao, what are you trying to express? Xiaoya had finally, officially become Bai Xian's daughter, yet she had never once changed how she addressed Bai Xian to father. Perhaps it was all because of that nightmare that still lingered, refusing to fade. Her small, unpracticed hand drew figure after figure on the grass. But when it came time to draw Bai Xian, she stopped. Just then, the fluffy Xueyao appeared and drew a circle on the ground. Xueyao, what is this you're drawing? Xiaoya used her stone to keep drawing over the circle. You draw so sloppily. Xueyao, thank you so much. Thanks to you, we managed to find the true culprit and protect everyone. Suddenly, Xueyao seemed to sense a presence of danger. He stood up, letting out a low growl toward one direction. And behind that stretch of forest, an assassin lay hidden. My master ordered me to pressure the 3 great clans, ensuring the prince cannot take a bride. If you're truly loyal to the Black Tortoise tribe, a trivial matter like this should be well within your abilities. My plan was flawless from the start, there's no question about that. Xueyao, there's no one there at all, you must be seeing things. If that child hadn't interfered, none of this would have come to light. How on earth did she figure it out? At mealtime, Bai Xian announced some news. From today on, your name is Bai Xiaoya. We've completed the registration today. So from now on, whenever someone calls your name, you must introduce yourself as Bai Xiaoya, daughter of Bai Xian. I understand, Lord Xian. From now on, I am no longer Xiaoya of the Vermilion Bird, but Bai Xiaoya, daughter of Bai Xian. Bai Jialu shouted happily. Wonderful. Both Little Fluffball's name and mine have the character Bai in them now. This kid just keeps saying foolish things every single day. Big brother, I just think it's amazing. Father said the character Bai before a name represents family, so that means Little Fluffball and I are family now. Could you please close your mouth? What if Xiaoya runs off because you're being so annoying? Xiaoya laughed beside them. I'm happy too to share this surname Bai with my brothers. Bai Xian listened to their conversation beside them, lost in thought. She only calls the young master's brother but has never once called you father. Do you think Little Fluffball feels a bit uncomfortable? So He Zhulong really was right after all. She's around Jialu's age, surely far more at ease with him than with someone like me, a grown adult. Well, perhaps Little Fluffball just needs time to adjust. I shouldn't rush things. Little Fluffball, on your first day as Bai Xiaoya, is there anything that's made you feel uncomfortable? Everyone has always treated me very well. Lord Xian, there's something about Shui Yao. You mean that phantom beast I brought back from the battlefield? Yes, Lord Xian. He's both kind and clever, and before he helped me a great deal. Could Zhe Yao live with us at the White Tiger Hall? Little Fluffball, I've already spoken with Nan Xinhu of the Wolf Clan about this. If others found out he was a phantom beast, it would cause a great deal of trouble. For now, let's just have him pass as a child of the Wolf Clan. Lord Xian, is this really true? Thank you so much. Bai Xin smiled faintly. No need to thank me, after all. He was the one I brought here in the first place. Bai Xian gathered his thoughts. The imperial ceremony originally planned for today will be combined with the Mountain Lord Festival. I'll formally introduce you to my vassals on that day. This Little Fluffball is my daughter. So I get to take part in the Mountain Lord Festival too? Of course. Hearing this news, Xiaoya's face lit up with joy. But Bai Jialu's words left her pale with fright. To take part in the Mountain Lord Festival, you absolutely must transform. This had always been the very thing Xiaoya feared most. The first time Father saw me transform, he discovered I was a fake heir. So what will happen this time? Bai Xian saw through the anxiety in Xiaoya's heart. Don't worry, Little Fluffball. If this is something you don't want to do, no one will force you. Bai Jiaxian pushed Bai Jialu aside. Don't listen to his nonsense. We never said you absolutely had to do anything. If anyone dares force you to do something you don't want, this big brother will deal with them personally, even if that person is Father himself. Bai Xian looked startled by his words. Little Fluffball, your big brother really is quite terrifying. Xiaoya forced a smile. But that incident from years ago lingered on like an inescapable nightmare. Father, if I become like them, transform into a magnificent, awe-inspiring vermilion bird, I'll surely be praised endlessly, won't I? The look of disgust from her father and eldest brother rose again in her mind. From beginning to end, Xiaoya had never once escaped that giant hand, as if trapped in a nightmare. I'm sorry, Father, please don't abandon Xiaoya. This time I will surely succeed in transforming. I promise, I'll become a magnificent little vermilion bird. Xiaoya jolted awake. It turned out to be only a dream. Zhe Yao, I'm so sorry for scaring you, I just had a nightmare, that's all. But that small hand kept trembling uncontrollably with fear. She couldn't recall how long it had been since she last called out the word father. Xiaoya hugged Zhe Yao, somewhat helpless. If I call Lord Xian father, and he ends up becoming like them, what should I do? Bai Xian had finally announced Xiaoya's identity before all the clans. After the uproar at the White Tiger Hall, the morning of the Mountain Lord Festival finally arrived. Hu Yaner brought over an outfit, emblazoned with the exclusive emblem of the White Tiger Hall. Hu Yaner helped Xiaoya into the outfit. This year's Mountain Lord Festival has invited many important clans. The clan lord is truly looking forward to introducing our little Fluffball to them. Xiaoya looked at the outfit on her body, a look of satisfaction crossing her face. Little Fluffball, do you know why the Mountain Lord Festival is held on Tiger Forest Mountain? Actually, the entire Tiger Forest Mountain is the resting place of a colossal white tiger spirit body. Xiaoya jumped in surprise. That huge mountain is really just a white tiger's spirit body? Then haven't we all been walking around on his very body? Don't worry, Little Fluffball. The great white tiger general's form is immense and sturdy. Long ago, the divine beast once protected the living creatures of this land. Though they've now become a thing of the past, some still firmly believe that one day they will awaken and rise again. There's an ancient prophecy. The bride of the yellow dragon will awaken those ancient guardian beasts. The most important thing now is, each divine beast left behind a portion of their power, transformed into a sacred relic upon this earth. But the White Tiger clan has never left behind any sacred relic at all. So the White Tiger clan of the West has always believed that somewhere behind a barrier on Tiger Forest Mountain, a sacred relic must still remain. And the event held to search for that relic gradually evolved into what is now the Mountain Lord Festival. Xiaoya suddenly understood. So that's how it is. Bai Jiaxian broke into a cheerful smile. Xiaoya, good morning. Big brother? Where's Big Brother Jielu? I don't see him anywhere. A large hand was hauling Bai Jielu by the collar. You little tiger, where do you think you're running off to now? Bai Jielu struggled without pause. I can walk up there perfectly well on my own. I don't need to ride in one of those palanquins. It turned out that beasts who hadn't yet reached adulthood needed to ride a dedicated palanquin up the mountain. And today, this wild boar was the beast tasked with carrying the palanquin. Xiaoya stepped forward and stroked the wild boar's nose. Hello there, I'm counting on you today. But suddenly Shui Yao's figure appeared behind them, looking even bigger than usual. He opened his mouth wide in anger, scaring the wild boar half to death. Bai Xian walked over. You little thing, you like little fluffball this much? He stroked Shui Yao's head. In that case, today you'll be in charge of little fluffball's safety. Hearing this, Shui Yao's eyes lit up instantly. He happily ran circles around Xiaoya and Bai Xian. Bai Xian scratched his head. There really is no dealing with this little thing. He acts just like a little boy trying to court a little girl. It's really quite baffling. Xiao dashed swiftly through the forest. Xiaoya sat in the palanquin, squeezing her eyes shut in fear. She slowly opened her eyes. What caught her sight was the rows of trees flying past on either side. The two Bai brothers rode on the wild boar beside her. Xiaoya, how does it feel? It feels wonderfully refreshing. The last time she'd ridden Shui Yao, her chest had felt tight and stifled, because her heart had been weighed down with worries from the past. But this time was completely different. The mountain breeze brushing past her face felt cool and utterly pleasant. Xiaoya laughed happily. Thank you so much, Shui Yao. Before long, they arrived at the mountain, and people from the other clans all glanced over at her. That little girl with the tiger pattern on her back must be the child the White Tiger clan just adopted. How old is she anyway? Seems like she's only 9, but why is she so tiny? Bai Jiaxian took Xiaoya's hand. The Mountain Lord Festival is about to start. Let's hurry over there. Bai Jielu laughed cheerfully too. That's right, it's not every day you get to watch Father dance. Really? Then let's hurry over there. Meanwhile, on the other side, Bai Xian crossed 2 long swords above his head. Then he leapt onto the stage, performing a dance rich with ceremonial meaning. On the brim of the hat he wore, an emblem representing the White Tiger clan was carved. Xiaoya had never seen a sight like this before, clapping her hands over her mouth in astonishment. The dance ended, and everyone below the stage broke into applause. Just then, Bai Xian slowly stepped down from the stage. Under Xiaoya's astonished gaze, he reached out and pulled her into an embrace. Please allow me to introduce to everyone, my daughter. Her name is Bai Xiaoya, and she has just been welcomed into the White Tiger clan. With this, we have completed all the rites. Now I will announce the rules of the Mountain Lord Festival. Everyone already knows the rules, don't you? The young warrior who hunts the most phantasmal creatures will become this year's Mountain Lord. Every phantasmal creature you hunt will be recorded, but if you hunt a real beast instead, you will be disqualified from the competition immediately. As the horn sounded, the Mountain Lord Festival officially began. Along and Bai Jielu rushed over to greet her, faces full of joy. Then, before Xiaoya's astonished eyes, both of them transformed into little tiger cubs and dashed off. Xiaoya instantly tensed up. They've both transformed, what should I do now? Bai Jiaxian walked over. Xiaoya, come along with me. I placed first in last year's Mountain Lord Festival. Since this is your first time competing, let me help you. Xiaoya laughed, somewhat embarrassed. All right then, big brother, I'll do whatever you say. Bai Jiaxian took Xiaoya's hand, walking deeper into Tiger Forest Mountain. But deep within the forest, that assassin was still watching Xiaoya closely, having yet to find his chance to strike since the White Tiger Hall.